where I made it very clear that I did it one of my think tank pauses. I made it very clear that if I didn't see voting pictures, I would be deleting people. Um, First and foremost, you can tell me with your mouth that yeah, I went to the polls. It was a long line. There was so many people in front of me.
But you ain't see it.
Yeah,
And that could possibly be a lie because I went in
nobody
and
was
walked right back out like I
there.
went to the gas station or something.
Yeah, so yeah, don't tell me that. Yeah, like I was number man. By the time I got there that evening, the line was wrapped around the building. Where? So I wanted to see, and you all really did a good job of showing that and sharing your pictures. I'm proud of everybody who got out and put themselves in the process. So we had a conversation on Sunday night and then again Monday. Very detailed conversation. We broke very detailed, right? Broke the amendments down, asked questions. Shouts out to Ms. Marika Coleman who came in. Patricia Ty, hey to you. You called in, or you sent some information in. Democratic Party representatives came in. Joy Travis came in. Good People Vote came in. And we broke everything down. Now, I will say, even with all that breaking down that we did, when I got in there inside the ballot and saw how it was listed, it was something about it that was still kind of intimidating or something.
Yeah.
You kind of you
I
did
did.
that.
When you do those amendments, it's always like that. No matter how well you, I think it's the print.
I don't know what it is. They like
it's the paragraphs. Like it was just a whole lot of reading. It was real long and a whole lot of reading, and then it was in that attorney lingo. It was just a
even
whole
after
lot.
us going through it though, like after
Yeah.
studying for the test, you still
Yeah.
getting here for it, and it's like, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, even after it was just a lot.
Yeah, it's like it's still some type of, and I don't know if it's the pressure of each, if it's the amendments or if it's just the idea of voting. Period. Like knowing
Check.
that this is. Where you think you at?
I tried to make sure it was on, man, because I was on G the mic for the
Did he
long.
just say mic check?
He said check.
No, I didn't.
Show,
Hey,
sir.
man, I didn't.
We are not
Hey,
at one of
I'm an
your
entertainer, man. I be.
Whoa,
Check one, two. There we
that's
go.
what you did. Like, woo, turn me up. Okay, gotcha.
Turn my
Nah,
headphones
I was
up.
on. I was on G the mic. I didn't know I was. That mic been snowing the longest. I didn't know.
Right, because I mean, why he get? Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Okay, so
Dark.
yeah, that was different.
Correct.
But I don't know if it's just that built-in pressure, knowing about you just knowing the history and just the I don't know, like voter intimidation may be a thing that's just it's just embedded now.
I can see that.
Y'all
'Cause
feel intimidated. I don't
I
have
don't,
those thoughts.
I was like, I don't have no reason to feel no kind of way, but I kind of did. Like even I've had an issue with somebody at the polling place before, and I don't have a lot of issues when I go out, but it was some weird misunderstanding. The person said something, the poll worker that's there all the time said something that was weird. And everybody else at the table looked, and I looked, and we were all confused about what she said. And then she got smart with me, and I'm like, this was a couple of elections back. And I'm like, now,
It was one of us.
Man, them old folks take them polls serious.
Dave, she wasn't even old.
They take them polls serious.
I was like, so something is really happening in this moment. I'm not sure. Ma'am, give me my ballot.
Right.
Give me that. So I don't know what happened with that, but I saw her again. And maybe that started it because I'm thinking like, okay, so you gonna act right today or whatever?
Did
Because
she act right?
she was cool, but she still was extra.
Maybe she's just extra.
She just take that poll. I'm telling you, they take that.
And actually, in general,
take them polls
older
serious.
people take their
She
jobs.
wasn't older.
I keep wanting to
She's
say
about. She's not much older than us.
Well, sometimes they can get lost in what they feel like is authority.
Authority.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So maybe she felt like an authority figure.
Like them old ladies be at Walmart.
Because you gotta be you gotta be some kind of bully to be able to work with all those old people at the poll, and you young. Come on now.
Like something a little different about you.
Man, it's something wrong with you.
I didn't want to say.
Some
poll workers y'all got.
Man, all of them be old.
Like
my auntie a poll worker. I see her every time I go in. We have a whole conversation. She's
I be
normal about it.
I be wanting some of them
She's
peanut butter
normal.
crackers and stuff they have over there. Them the snacks they have.
I don't know the
for
man who
workers.
tried to stick my stick on. He's different. We had a man who did it for a real long time, and he's passed away.
Yeah.
We got a new man. So I just kind of stuck my hand out to get the sticker, And he gave me like this weird look. You don't want me to touch you?
I don't.
No,
Not
I
across
don't.
my chest. You crazy?
Well, y'all made that
He was
old
like,
man
stick
day.
stick your hand out. I
Made
just
that
put
old
it in your
man day.
hand.
Just
Okay.
Okay,
give,
put
just
it in
give
my
me the
hand then.
sticker. Like I may not want to wear.
Yeah, that was weird.
it. Okay, so that's just the beginning of it though. That's just like getting in
And
the
I had a
pole.
pole chaplain. Y'all had a pole chaplain.
Nah.
Yeah, I had a pole chaplain. One of our white sisters, and she had on like
A clergy collar.
yeah, it was a dress.
She was praying for you
And she
when you
was
voted.
sitting across the street from the church, and she was like, I'm the pole chaplain. If you have any issues on the inside, let me know.
She gonna pray
What
about it.
kind
Oh.
of?
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird. I ain't never had that experience before.
Not
was
that one
weird.
before. So a lot of different things, and we knew that we would have poll workers, not poll workers, but Joy talked about those that would be in. All right, Dave.
Right, because every time you say it, I've been thinking,
Y'all think
I ain't
about
said nothing,
P-Valley.
Woo.
What's wrong with
Poll,
y'all?
yes, poll or P Valley.
Down in the valley. What?
So no, not that. But we did hear that there was a number that was available if we had issues in the polling place. And I hadn't heard of anybody that had any real issues, but I think that that idea of me going in here being prepared is really a situation. Then when I walked in, it's like everybody was really having a hard time. They were there when I got there. I did my little thing and I left. I pulled my cheat sheet out. I looked, boom, 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 I'm out. But I could tell like everybody was really struggling.
Yeah.
You a straight ballot,
I
straight
did.
Democrat.
I did
ballot
on this
voter?
one. Yep. And then I read the amendments, but then after I started reading them, I said, let me get my phone out because
Uh-huh.
what?
Yeah.
I had to do that.
So I don't know. And that really it really spoke to the effort that was put into the work, where even with the work that we put in, did it register when you got to the poll? And
Right.
then did the people that needed to hear it? And I could tell from the demographic of my polling place, y'all ain't listen to the radio. Y'all didn't listen to it. Y'all don't know. They have no clue about the resources that are available. They didn't know about the Greater Birmingham Ministries Handbook. They don't even know about this show. So I'm like, who are we talking to?
Yeah, I picked that
You
up
know?
a lot from listening to Chris's show. When the people called in.
That it's the same people, right?
Mhm.
So outside of the general listening audience, you may catch a couple of people. Sometimes I got a lot of inbox messages asking about, sending them information and asking questions, which I really appreciated. But it still made me wonder, do they listen to the shows? Do they listen to these platforms?
mm-mm.
Oh.
And sometimes I don't think people listen, right? You know how you so accustomed to just like having the radio going, but
Yeah,
when you
it's
going
just
to
white
work
noise.
or when you coming from home, yeah. So
But
sometimes
this
I
ain't
think
white
people
noise.
can.
I'm not gonna say that I don't think people listen to the show. I just think when it comes to like voting and stuff like that,
Yeah.
a lot of people feel like, well, it is what it is.
Okay, well, let's just talk about sex. Let's do that. Let's switch it up. Let me change. Let me
Wow.
change the music. Let's see. Let me see. If we can
Wait
do this
a
one.
minute.
Baby, let's talk about you and me.
That was a hard change.
I mean, but people listen to sex, right?
Yeah.
They like to talk about that.
So
They
you
like to
gonna
talk
tie
about.
voting
Oh, I
into
thought you were
sex.
saying my
Okay.
comment was boring. You just
Oh,
changed to
no.
another subject. I was about to be like,
How's your
what?
That
feelings?
was like, dog.
Like, dang,
Yeah,
I thought
she
we were better than
she
that.
cut me hard, didn't it?
No, I'm just saying, like, but if they don't listen to conversations about what really impacts everybody in every way, what you got to put with it? Like some cuss words or put it under a 5 mute. We play music under it, like go to stand in the front of the church. What we supposed to do?
I think people just need to simplify the amendments
They need to simplify the
earlier.
entire
Like
process.
Okay.
like early, like
The entire process needs to be simplified. In 2023, why are we still paper voting? Why is this not something that we could do online?
On your phone or something.
Yeah.
I ask that every time, and I hear that it's for like the ease of being hacked. Like if you put something on the phone where people can just boop 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 boop, what keeps you from being
Well, it's still a problem with the paper process though.
true?
If the numbers don't work out how the people want the numbers to work out, then somebody stole the election.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
and then you don't really hear about the amendments and stuff until I heard it on this station a lot. I don't know what other stations did it, but you don't really hear about stuff like that until it's closer to voting time. I think if people knew about it in simplified form
Mm-hmm.
early
Way
on,
prior to.
yeah, then you can start looking at,
Oh man. So basically nobody showed up. I mean, a couple of people did. But so this is what Black was talking about. Like the couple of people that showed up, it was so coupled that at 7 o'clock, the Democratic numbers were already in. Like the polls closed and we already got y'all numbers up. So people thought that some of the people that we had on the show had won. Like, no, that's not what that is.
Don't do that.
Yeah, because we was like, oh, snap. Like,
these up.
Oh, that's what y'all thought for real.
Whoa, turn my music up, DJ. Turn my music up, DJ. We was lit.
Y'all really thought that? Like you and Dana.
Me, Dana, and Kayla. We was lit on the phone, 3-way.
Okay.
like, oh,
And then
man.
it happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I was like,
Well,
damn.
I mean, I kind of knew that before it started.
Hey, don't do that.
But then we were all like, wait, what you see? Like, what are you watching on your TV? What channel you watching?
Then look, Black was like, cause KF got on a red pantsuit with a white bow tie. I was like, what are you watching?
Well, she
y'all?
would rock a pantsuit on.
Man,
She a
look.
rock a pantsuit.
She be in a pantsuit.
But if you don't know and you are following different
Y'all knew
different
that.
broadcasts,
Y'all
it's
knew
like like go channel to channel trying to see like let me
Y'all
go to
knew that.
CNN.
But
Let's go to MSNBC.
Did y'all think she wasn't gonna win?
Who?
K.I.
K.I.
These people.
Not for a minute. I don't know nobody who didn't think she wasn't gonna win.
Did we think that the candidates that we pushed were gonna win?
Some of 'em.
Senate, governor, I think everybody outside of those two races, yes.
I mean, yeah, that's
like
what I was
Bestman
gonna
cutoff,
say.
yeah.
We live in a red state. So for the most part, no slight to the candidates that we had on
Mhm.
because they were both great. Yeah. It's just where we live and the trajectory. And I think that as a party, collectively, they have to do a better job way earlier on to like spread the word and get their message out.
Right.
But in Jefferson County, blue in Birmingham,
Like the county itself?
blue,
Yeah, I
but
know
the state
that.
ain't.
I'm just saying, I know the state is red,
Oh.
but in Jefferson County mainly.
As it relates to the Jefferson County candidates, everybody that I thought was gonna win was gonna win. Including the sheriff's
Yeah, that was
race.
crazy.
I didn't think that the other guy was gonna
that
win
was-
at
Like,
all.
sir, who are you?
Slaughter.
Right, where
Who
you
brought
come
you
from?
here?
Now
Who
I ain't gonna
sent
lie, I
you?
told y'all the next day after we talked about that, the very next day, Monday, when I took my kids to school, their school is right across the street from the Civic Center, and they was pulling his signs up. Jared Hudson, he had signs everywhere.
Meaning that we're gonna use them again.
Again.
No, I don't know. Well,
But you didn't see any of his signs around us until like a week or so.
oh, and see, I live out in the outskirts with the others. And his signs was everywhere.
It wasn't in the city.
I saw a couple, and
but-
then
but
I
you
saw
saw
a
'em
fake,
closer
I
to
saw
the-
a fake ballot too, where it was like a Democratic ballot, but it had his picture on there for sheriff. I saw that as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, you do what you got to do to get in, right?
I didn't
But
think he was gonna win though.
I didn't either. Nobody knew him. Hey, right? Nobody knew him. So it's like you come in.
Well, we didn't know him. So, and that's what's scary, right? We didn't know him, but somebody knew him because even though he didn't win, he still
Oh.
had a large pool of people who actually voted for him.
So I got a comment right here. Nope. Whoever heard of them before they ran, talking about the other candidates that ran that we had on, and then the Democratic Party is dead is a comment that is posted right now. Yeah, really? You feel that? That the Democratic Party in Alabama is dead.
Yeah.
So here's the deal.
What?
Hold on. Hey, what's cracking? First of all,
Hi there.
I'm coming in hot. My bad.
I mean, huh?
Hi, Chuck.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi, everyone. You got the cat ears
What
on.
the?
We're being
Hey,
nice.
what's your,
don't
what's
do
your
that.
nails looking like?
Hi.
today? You shining on them. Okay. So here's the deal. Republicans are about God, guns, and country.
Yeah.
That's
What's
Alabama.
what is the Democratic Party about?
Fairness, equality, and
Keep going.
Blacks.
Keep going. And keep going. And keep going. and
right.
Keep going.
Tons of
We're
things.
everything.
Okay,
Right. So like
okay.
we have a messaging problem.
Mm.
Right. So like there's not like a tagline that like we can get behind to say that we are for this because we're all inclusive. We about gay folks, black folks, white folks,
Right.
minorities.
Or
We're
Hispanics.
non-judgmental.
We non-judgmental, but you can't encapsulate that into like a consistent message where again, Republicans are about God, guns, country. It's very simple. And so like until we get it together, I mean, we live in Alabama.
I
so
just love Chuck. He's so smart.
I'm not
I
smart.
mean,
I'm
He's
just
so
myself.
smart.
So I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying about messaging. Now, does that mean that the party is dead and would have to be
Yeah.
revived? Or
It
Tell
needs
me
to
the
be
last time there was
revived.
a statewide Democrat that won. Senator Jones. Before that was Lucy Baxley,
Mhm.
PSC. Who was that? Who was before that? Exactly. Y'all don't even know.
we would have to
I know.
I would have to have yeah, you way older
that
than
an
us. We
egg
just found
bite?
that out.
Yeah. This is
So
what?
Is that an egg bite?
listen.
Yes. I'm hungry.
What up, Ray? We're gonna have to
It's
get a
necessary right
candidate
now.
ready 2 or 3 years before the election. Danny Carr, are you ready? And then he also says that Hudson
Danny
has
Carr
support.
couldn't win anything statewide.
And yeah, like we love who we love at home, but
Talking about
outside of at
statewide.
home, nah. And I agree with that.
Yeah.
Hudson has support within the sheriff's department. Some say Petway not doing right within the department,
Listen,
so that kind of splits the
Jared
vote.
Hudson was a test case for the Republicans. That was a
Ooh.
litmus test. It was. And so, like,
Makes sense.
we'll see what's up. I'm telling y'all.
Because
So, like-
he had a large pool of people to vote for him. He didn't lose by that much.
You did not.
So it's the fact that I can jump out here and not lose by a landslide, and know that hey, it's gonna come a chance or a time
It's
where I can
gonna
run
be-
again.
We're gonna, yeah.
All right,
And next time he gonna be ready. Like he might come out hard.
coming out hard. So
He was
look,
never going to win,
Mhm.
but that race was a lot closer than it should have been.
Every time an election is over, we talk about what the candidates didn't do, what they didn't say, where they didn't go, who didn't support them, who didn't endorse them, and that's a lot of what we heard with Sheriff Petway. Like he didn't do a lot, but he just got the black vote because we were comfortable with that. So
Pretty much.
next to go round,
I think he did well. I don't know. I think he did a lot. Like I don't know what he doing internally, but
Mhm.
externally, as it relates to like
got the mental health
Yeah.
unit going on. And then like when you think about the sheriff's office, my mind really goes to the city. It doesn't go to
The county.
it doesn't. It just really doesn't. Not for me. Like I don't think about, well, let me call the sheriff's department and see if they can come out. Well, no, that's not where I go. And it may be because I live in the city, but that's just not the first thing that I think about. I don't ever think
but
to
they
call the
jumped
sheriff.
in and like then they jump in like Fairfield,
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
live
Brighton
on
and
that.
all those communities who are kind of like underserved.
Yeah. So if Hudson would have been the sheriff and they jumped in those areas, we would have seen some issues.
Ooh.
It would have been going down on the Black Boys.
Ooh. I
Well,
think so.
yeah, because the whole dynamic of the department looks different then, right? Right now the department kind of looks like you and I because of the head. Once you change the head and there's a trickle down effect, what does it turn into?
Mush. All right, let's talk about that right quick. I want to switch it up before we go to break. Had to make a 911 call the other day. It's black folks in the department that didn't support Petway. I have heard that too, my dear.
Well, it's black folks in the department that don't support Randall Woodfin. Pick
Oh,
up and
wait.
carry on.
Right.
Right in the office with him. Okay, so look though, made a call. I'm like, okay, so this activity looks different. While we're talking about the sheriff's office and the police department and all of that, made a call because I saw some young people laying out on the sidewalk. So between on the main street
Man,
in my
you
area,
even have a sidewalk?
not me. So the main, I was just about to break it. Courtney.
She's so, just as she
Dog.
moved over there where they have sidewalks.
You don't
over
have a
there.
sidewalk in
Like-
the hood, woo. But listen, no, on the
I
main
don't
street,
have no
there's a
sidewalk.
sidewalk and there's a row of shrubs, right? So
Mhm.
when you turn off of the main street, you can see it. You can see. So between the houses and the bushes and the street, there's a sidewalk. These two young people were laying on the sidewalk. I turn to go down my street and we see them. They dropped down. As we kind of got on the street, one of them stood back up and looked.
Oh, they was breaking into something.
Let me circle the block so we can see. Let me look behind me because what you doing? All right, so we do that, and then I said, you know what? This could be a couple of things. We're having opioid addictions and fentanyl deaths, all this overdosing type stuff going on, and we're also having carjackings and robberies. So let me see which one it could be.
And what
But
time was this?
it was dark. It could have been 2:00. I don't know, but it was dark. It was dark
It
outside.
could have been about 4:30.
It was probably about 3, right? So I turned. I'm like, now this really doesn't. This ain't safe. I don't know what they doing. It could be a hazard to them, or they could be a harm to somebody else. Whichever it is, we gonna call the authorities because I'm not the authorities. I'm not gonna do that. So call the authorities, and I say, hey, I wanted to see about getting patrol out because I see 2 young people laid out on the sidewalk. I said it looks suspicious, but it may not be suspicious. They may be in danger. I don't know, but if somebody could come around, that would be great. Ma'am. what? I mean, so what are you saying? I just
Two
told
people
you.
laid
I
out
was just
on the
like,
sidewalk.
And I said it just like I said, two young people laying
Now,
out.
let me repeat myself.
Yeah, so I repeated it. Well, what do they have on? I said one has on a red hood, and Carmen speeding the information to me too. We both looking and trying to tell them. Well, what are they doing? Laying on the sidewalk. Like, do you want me to say they season or they jumping? They're laying down, and one of them stood back up and laid back down. I don't know. She asked me something else. I said, ma'am. And she said, well, ma'am, I'm asking you these questions because I need to know if I need to send medics or not. Ma'am, I don't know. But when you send the police, I'm sure they'll tell you if you need to send
Right.
if
Exactly.
they need
First,
medics. It just was not
Get
connecting.
somebody en route.
That's it. Get somebody en route. 4:30, call them, come on. I couldn't make any sense of the fact that if this was an emergency, I mean, it's different ways to look at it, Chuck, but I'm as a civilian calling to tell you that something is happening. It doesn't look right.
And it takes nothing for you to get a police officer to
Right, it ain't-
patrol the block. They should be patrolling anyway.
Anyway, they already out there. That's their job.
I don't know, y'all. So then I posted it because I was really bothered by that. It's one of those things, just like what I said about the voting. Don't make me feel like I shouldn't call 911 and I should take matters into my own hands, because basically what she told me was go back and see what's going on. Oh, okay.
That one was.
But I don't know what they're doing. So what are they really breaking and entering? And
So-
now I'm finna interrupt them.
So here we go. I have a teenager. My teenager tells me I know exactly what that was because I see it on TikTok all the time. They'll lay down and wait on people to come and help them, and then they'll carjack them or rob them. Hell
No, because she ain't go back
She ain't go
round.
back.
She got good
The freak.
sense.
Look, I didn't go back, and if
Ain't nobody who
like,
live on that side of town finna
what?
go back and
But
get out the car.
still, she should have
Like-
sent a patrol car around because that would have taught them a lesson. Don't be
Stop
playing those
playing.
media games
'Cause
in real life.
it was crazy.
I do feel the medical part of that though, because like maybe there's a like, so if they say, hey, send the folks first, let the folks make an assessment, and then if somebody needed medical attention,
Then they would've-
that's a delay.
I get
Yeah,
it.
so I feel that question.
But she wanted
Was
Wu to
valid.
go back to see.
I like y'all's glasses, by the
Thank you.
Thank-
way. Hey,
What did you say? Hey,
I did. I said what's cracking.
I thought he just said it after he said he liked.
No,
Chuck,
he
go
likes
ahead, babe.
glasses.
Nah, I'm good.
'Cause I thought
Now he said when he first walked in though.
but I thought you just said hey again. I'm like, hey, Chuck, thank you. See, okay, I get it. I get what you're saying, but like
As-
medics,
as someone
I'm
who
not even a
used-
medic.
As someone who used to dispatch like ambulances for 8-9 years,
Right.
that was not the protocol.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, they hours real crazy. But I have worked all
Oh.
3 shifts, first, second, and third shift, and that was not how we would have handled that. Had you called in to us, I would have gotten the address first and had my medics in
On the
route,
way, right?
period. And then I would be getting more information from you so I could relay it to my medics as they're on the way. The first
Birmingham might
the
not have a
first
bunch of
thing-
medics to work with.
And so
though.
that was the other part. Everybody was saying like there's a shortage. We don't have enough officers.
I was
We're
about to say
400,
that.
500 short.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
But
that's fine.
as a mental health professional, as somebody that consults people with customer service and just
Hey,
basic
why you
people
coughing, man?
skills.
What you got? What you got, man?
Oh,
You ain't got
okay. Basic people skills would tell you that if I'm de-escalating a crisis at any point, don't y'all watch 911 on TV?
No.
No, that's TV dog.
But you need to take note, because there's a way that when you answer, it's 911. I'm not calling Church's Chicken. I'm not calling
Right.
Walmart. I'm
Piece of
calling
lead.
911, meaning that there's an emergency, and on the other end, even if it may be emergent to the fact that I'm intervening, this is prevention. This is going to help someone. It just made no sense. So I just think about when people are in crisis. Like if I call on my own because I'm actually in a crisis, and that's the type response I get on the other end. Like you're asking me questions that I get the need to ask questions because you have to know how to
But
de-escalate.
there are procedures and protocol that you follow, and I feel like that went against it. Now, again, I've never dispatched for 911 per se, but I have worked directly with 911 before, and that's never what we're supposed to do.
Hey, but just say yourself.
If
okay?
something actually,
Basically,
but if something actually was going on in that instance, they will pull that recording and she'll be put into court for what she did on the other end of that phone
Wait,
call.
so you
They're all recorded
You dispatched for what?
for 2 different ambulance services
Okay.
so like
that dispatched Birmingham, Walker County, Jefferson County, some of Shelby County.
so your calls would come from the civilians or from the
Both.
authorities. Okay, so from both. So you can gauge in somebody's tone if it's really something that's going on where, hey, you know what?
I don't know about that. So.
Tell me.
I don't know, because like I do feel like when they're trying to parse out whether or not this is a medical emergency or like an authority emergency, I
Mhm.
feel like those are valid questions because again, you don't want to send like so many. You don't want to waste resources.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That's fair. I made another call earlier in the week at one of my sites where somebody told me that they wanted to be committed. They needed mental health care as soon as possible. Made some personal calls, made a call, and when we made the call, protocol for them is to show up 4 or 5 cars deep.
On
And
a
that,
mental health situation.
yes, and that is
That's
so.
extreme.
That was
That seems like that's an escalation.
I,
Maybe.
that's what I
Yeah.
felt. I'm like, now this man told me himself, right? If a man, woman, or child, anybody says, "Hey, I need," and that means that I'm not combative. And if I do become combative, maybe 2, but 4,
Yeah, that's a lot. I
That's
mean,
a
that's
lot.
an age old thing though, right? When
Is
you
it
see
not a
one
safety
police
issue
officer,
though?
huh?
Is it not a safety
can
issue?
be.
Very, very much so, because it could turn into anything. However, when we come back from this break, we'll dig more into it. You're listening to Vital right here on B94.9 WATV. On Sunday nights, the V stands for Vital. We're talking about everything tonight. So if you have something that's on your mind that you want to talk about, go ahead and put it in the comments or give us a call. Right now, we'll be right back.
Sorry, I'm late, folks. Or later than usual.
I want to go smoke so bad.
To
Oh,
sleep.
good lord.
Bruh, it's 7:33.
I don't care.
I'm so hungry.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Definitely not.
starving.
Oh, I ate.
And I don't like the spinach ones. I saw the spinach in it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I appreciate
Ian's
it.
Lead Part 2. We're back, y'all. Just shouts out to Corey Savage with that super dope intro right there.
Nope. No, sir.
What happened?
No,
I love
sir.
that song.
What did you
I
like?
love that song.
Yes,
I promise you.
Corey. So yeah, we get us some more tracks coming in here. So look,
So look, let me just tell you this.
come on,
Rule.
come on.
As far as how this system goes, when a caller calls, right?
Mhm.
When we pull up our screen to put in an emergency call, the first thing that we have to fill in is the address. Then we put in what's like the basic emergency, and we hit send. It goes up to the trucks. Then we go back in and we put in extra details, and then we can cancel the trucks as we see fit or
That
send a
makes sense
different
to
one
me.
en route.
Yeah.
So yeah, she should have gotten the address and the location first and had somebody en route, and then, hey, let me dispatch my crew out or whatever. And then if she felt like, okay, well, we can cancel it, cancel it. They're supposed to be in the street anyway. Like we had different trucks posted in different areas so they could be close to wherever because of the contracts that we had. So regardless of the shortage of police officers, fire and rescue, whatever, they should be posted up somewhere.
And
Because I know there are several firehouses all over the city.
So okay, got a comment that just came in. They don't have the manpower. Another officer said that they had 1,000 back in the day on the force. Now they're down to like 400, and that is exactly the number that I got from somebody current, like 400, 500 short.
And they be chilling because I just went to Dollar General Sunday, and one was just sat out in the car and had a whole 15-minute conversation with me, just for no reason, just chilling.
So okay, thinking about the work, like policing work, what that work looks like. That could be life changing work every time you clock in.
Every time.
Just like I say just like anybody else's work, but that is almost guaranteed that I pray that you make it home type of work.
Yeah.
I get
or
that.
I pray that you're not traumatized when you
Right.
get home.
I absolutely get that. And I empathize with those who serve in that field of work. The other part of it is the city, and who's paying law enforcement. And I got comments from law enforcement officers after I posted this about, hey, we don't make enough. Like honestly, they want us to work all these hours and we don't make enough for what we what we are up against.
Wait a minute. Wait
just
a
saying.
doggone minute. Find something else to do.
Oh,
right.
I mean,
nobody's forcing you
and
to
we
be a police
understand.
officer.
I promise we understand that you don't make enough. But don't none of us make enough. I don't make enough.
None of us.
So okay.
But if you take that oath,
Yeah,
that's what
to
you
protect
gonna
us,
do.
right?
Yeah, you chose it.
So then you tell me to start policing, us. What does it look like when we start
'cause
policing ourselves?
Y'all don't make enough. I ain't finna
I don't get
police
paid to do
myself.
that.
That's
But
what you get paid
but
to do.
isn't that kind of what suggested? Like, hey, circle the block, go back and see if it's really a
No,
hazard
and
and
put
who I need to
What
send
you should
out.
have told her was tell your mama to circle
That's
the
the
block.
purge.
'cause
Tell
I
a
ain't-
man.
Basically.
That's the purge.
I'm like,
And okay, let's just say
Because you
for
could put
instance-
yourself in danger.
so by now my
Yeah.
tone is very flat. Yes, no,
Let me speak to your supervisor.
I'm
Look,
to
I
the
am the
house,
supervisor.
cuz.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I handle it. We got to go get on this radio and talk about it and really get to the
Mhm.
bottom of trying to figure out, is it is it some type of protocol? Do we need a cheat sheet on how to call 911? Like what? Okay, is it this kind of then it
They
branch
need better
off?
dispatchers because she should have handled you differently.
Hmm.
Like she might have been tired. I've worked 24-hour shifts dispatching before.
Tell them
You
about
are
it.
tired, but again,
Yeah,
it
but
was a
you dealing
choice.
with people's livelihood.
Right.
That could have been the difference between saving somebody's life or saving somebody from, getting their house broken into. I don't know.
And all I can imagine is like I think for the most part I feel like we are still able to always handle ourselves. Like we can get caught slipping too, but I just feel like we're able to handle ourselves as opposed to me thinking about my loved ones, my mama, my grandma, my auntie, my church members, my daddy, like whoever. I'm thinking about them in situations that they could be put in, trying to be good people. Like, no, you can't be
Right.
nice. Don't go out here doing pumping you. No,
That's what my mind
You know
is
what I
right now
mean?
because my mama is quick to try to help anybody
yeah,
in
like
her neighborhood.
no.
I don't know. My mama gonna press the gas.
Nah,
and
my
daddy
mama,
still pulling
no,
the stick.
no, my mama quick, and
You gonna
that's
come
what
with the blicky.
no, that's what got me thinking now. Because all you gotta do is call my mama one time.
Right.
She go,
Oh,
they
baby.
call me mama.
Right.
You look up and they in
got
the
knocked
house
over
trying
the
to fix a
head.
light now.
See?
And I'm like, man,
And
that scares me.
that's where my head goes. I think about my neighbor is the nicest person in the city. Like,
Yes.
oh my
Lord.
gosh. So,
What neighbor?
You
girl,
know.
I'll show it to you.
Oh,
But
that dude.
No,
What?
Cornet, stop it.
Now, Courtney.
But I'm just thinking, like people like that. Oh, you're gonna go outside and try to give them a meal and everything, and then they're going to tie
Gonna
you
try to
up
pray
in your
for you.
home. So before any of that happens, I'm gonna go ahead and try to get in front of this situation because hey, if you are looking for a victim,
See, I'm not being nice to nobody on that side. Nobody. What? Roll the window, press the gas.
Oh, get
fast.
real quick. But if you're in my front yard, laying on the sidewalk where you're waiting on a car to approach to say, or whatever you about to do, and I got another teenager in the car, like, nah, I see that.
All that
But the
look
thing,
dangerous.
but in that same situation, what if something like we didn't know it was a TikTok challenge? What if somebody
Right.
righteously knew what it was and they hopped out with the stick? Then
Right.
what?
Mm.
Now you got 2 young kids
Dead for
Blasted
playing.
into itty
on
bitty
the
pieces for playing
sidewalk
too much.
when you could have just sent the cops out.
Yeah, so that's something that happened this week that I really wanted to just bring out to the public's attention, and for multiple reasons. One of the other reasons being because of how the light changed. Like y'all like nighttime, but it's night at 3:30.
It ain't 3:30. It's really
It's
like
4:30.
4:45.
It is
That
about
is
4:45.
crazy.
Hey, just like I feel like this classic, this Black Christmas week hit different. This time change hit different.
It
yo.
did.
Everything is hitting
That's
real
why I'm
different.
sleepy.
I'm done right now.
But I don't. So what was so like? I've never felt this way about it to the point where when I feel a way about something, we're gonna talk about it. And I really have felt like I should take a nap, and I normally don't be on that. Chuck, you been trying to take naps too?
Yes.
Like, what is wrong with
I don't know. Old age. I don't
No,
know. I'm
like
so
it's
tired right
it's the
now.
children too.
Huh?
It's the pets. MJ be going to sleep at like 2:30 for the rest of the day and waking
Who's
up.
MJ?
And my dog.
Oh.
Everybody's impacted.
Michael Jordan?
Marley Jr.
Oh, not even. Oh, like Bob Marley?
No, like his
No,
predecessor. It was another
right.
Frenchie.
Wait.
Marley was.
Oh, you
dope.
gonna have to tell him this story off the air.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's layers to the French bulldog.
Wait, is it in the book? If it's not in the book, you can't tell it right now.
I don't think she
No, I ain't
mentioned
talking
them
about it in the book.
books.
No, so MJ is 2. He just turned 2 last Sunday, but before MJ, there was
Oh,
Marley.
you didn't know part of MJ?
Yeah.
So you had a dog that passed away?
Yeah, Marley, right. So then we get MJ and we name him MJ. Get it?
Yeah, that's weird. So like my dog passed away. I got a tattoo.
Oh.
Yeah, I see her every day. It's too soon for me. She passed away 2 years ago. It's too
What
soon
was
for me.
that? To get another dog. I said that,
I've
but
been to the Humane Society like 3 times now, and it's too soon for me.
That is really.
I will tell you, I
She's like, I see her
I
every
didn't
day.
really
She's
want
every
to, but my child was like, okay, let's get another dog. And I'm like, and I bought into that. What
I keep
in the
telling
world?
people it's the longest, most successful relationship I've ever had with a woman. with
Man.
my dog.
It is a different
y'all
type of
dropping y'all hands?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting on that sound. That was a good one.
But yeah, this is how the conversations go.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, you're listening to Vital right here on B94.9 WATV. We go from voting to police protocols and 911.
When I
And
talk about the voting thing, y'all mess this up. This
What?
whole Ania's law thing, y'all,
yeah,
yeah.
what about it? What happened? I mean, it passed,
Chuck wanted us to vote no.
Yes, I want y'all to vote no. Like
and we
there-
and maybe we did,
y'all,
but
y'all should
only
not
5
no
of us
bond
showed up.
anybody, huh?
So you remember we talked about it,
Yes.
and everybody's like, no. But then
Joy was here, and who was with Joy?
the first day it was good
Will-
people vote,
Well, then
and
then
then
Will
the next day
Boy.
Marika Coleman.
Oh, I missed that too.
So yeah, you two. That was a week before that. So when we talked about the amendments, though, we went through it and we explained why.
Shout out to Joy Travis.
So come again and tell us why. Just
The Ania's
because.
law thing, y'all
Yeah.
should not deny anybody the opportunity to get like it. It's going to be very complicated for certain people in 14 categories to get a bond. It's just it's going to be a problem. So like whatever.
So no bond, but if
A lot of this is about the prisons too, but that's a whole different conversation.
But look, when you get out on bond and you are this criminal.
And you go out there and
No.
do something
You're
else.
suspect. No. You're allegedly suspected of a crime. You're not a criminal. Don't do that.
I mean, I'm just saying this is what this
Look
is.
at you being
So
all
does it make it
fair.
hard for people across the board, like all people? Like I'm a first time offender. Does it make it hard for me, or
Yeah,
does
if
it
you-
make it hard for repeat offenders?
No,
Or
it's not repeat offenders. It's
Okay.
like if you get convicted or if you are alleged to have committed any of these 14 categories of a crime,
Mhm.
like a judge can no bond you. Like that's crazy.
What is the smallest crime that's listed of those
I
14?
think burglary.
Is it at the
Oh, I
judge's
didn't-
discretion?
I think I feel like they've removed discretion from all of this. That's what I
Okay.
was told today.
And it's just a law.
It's crazy. Yeah. The messaging around all of this has been
So,
It's
but
weird.
removing discretion, and that's what the amendment said is that basically, I saw something. I don't even have it with me now, but basically, like when you get in front of a judge, that judges are of sound enough or fairness to,
there were things that judges used to be able to consider that I don't think they can. They were automatically able to consider these things in order to give you a bond. I think some of that has been removed now. So,
I don't know, Chuck. I'm two-sided there.
okay.
I think I'm two-sided because I understand both sides of it. So if it's my family member that needs a bond, okay, I see it. But if it's my family member
Right.
who has had the crime committed against them, like I don't
want
feel
you to
like
stay forever.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, rape, sodomy, capital murder. I get that. Burglary.
Now burglary's a
And
little
see, that's
dumb.
what,
I mean, like it's weird. Like these are all crimes that still have victims involved, but like
Yeah.
sodomy, sure, all that. But like the rest of them, I don't know. It's weird.
So we
And
gonna
again, I think this is about the private prison, so different
I was gonna say we're gonna throw burglary in there because now that's a bigger group of people, so we can really.
Yeah,
Well, you ought
burglary
to not be
typically
breaking
is
in
a
folk house. What's
well.
wrong with
Hold on,
you?
burglary typically is it's not a victimless crime, but typically a person is not there, right? So robbery is different. Like I'm holding you up at
Mm-hmm.
gunpoint. Burglary is I go in your house, I take your
And I
stuff.
take your
I get
stuff.
it.
Don't go in my
Okay,
house
but
and
do
take
you
none of my
think
stuff.
that? Do you think
I would
that
just ask you, can I
this?
have this?
Do you think that this law
No.
will
Yes.
like make some changes?
I'm sorry, Dave. I was trying to get Dave's attention.
Do
You
you
just
think
missed
that
it.
this law, Chuck, will make some changes as it relates to the types of crimes that people commit? Like, do you
No.
think that people no,
No. I think that people, if you're gonna commit a crime, you're gonna
You
commit
just
a
gonna
crime.
do
and
it.
it just
Yeah.
don't matter? Okay,
I don't
And most
think
of the people who these laws are gonna affect, they don't know what's
Yeah.
going
they
on
criminals
anyway.
anyway.
again,
don't-
I've
they
told
don't
y'all
know.
before the reason that like I would never commit a crime. First of all, you shouldn't do that. Second of all, I'm not a very large person. So
Mhm.
like if I do a stretch, I'm not gonna be somebody's girlfriend.
I mean, you might go to jail. You might go to jail, Chuck, and you might pump some iron. And
Nah,
okay,
I ain't gonna get
They
no
might
taller.
remember you be like, "Hey man, he was cool, man. I remember him."
Fine.
He said, "I'm not gonna get no taller." Ah,
Whoa.
man, you're so stupid.
Well,
In myself.
okay. So that's why you're not gonna commit a crime.
Because you
Those
found
were-
out.
Well, no. I mean, sure. I don't want to do anything against somebody else, but it's like, yes, my exit only, yo. Let's go.
All right then. Any of the other ones that didn't pass or pass that you all had personal
You
feelings
just
about?
said it.
Others?
but think about what we just said a minute ago. I don't think you just asked if any others didn't pass or not. I don't think a lot of people know if they did or not
Right,
because
'cause I
they
don't
don't
even know.
understand them.
I
They
don't know what
didn't-
was on there.
Right.
Stood in
if-
there and read them for 30 minutes.
If you made it plain, we're voting no on don't cross the street. Then we would know Amendment 14 is don't cross the street. Then you would know that. But when
Well,
you go in there
Y'all don't
and
think
We did.
y'all don't think I think Anaya's mom though, like single handedly did a good job.
Of selling the bill.
Yeah. Like she did that on her own.
Yeah, I mean, and when you are passionate, so that type of passion, just to use that and think about everything else that either comes up as an amendment or something that we have to vote for and how personal it really is. Like all of them are really just that personal for us, honestly, but we don't.
Take
how
them
many?
that
But how
serious.
many people know? In all honesty, how many people know what Anaya's law is?
Probably nobody.
That's the
Probably
point I'm
nobody.
saying.
All
They know
is that
Anaya's
remember-
name.
Right. They
Yeah,
remember her
Anaya's
name.
mom sold that based on like the way that your heart was wrapped into.
And remember, I
the
kept saying
whole
these are
case.
heartstring votes.
Mhm.
So
They are.
So basically, when you hear the name Anaya, that means vote yes. That's what people felt.
Yep.
It was another one too that was a heartstring, the orphan vote, the orphan amendment. Like nobody really knew what it was.
I didn't feel
You
like
don't
that one. I felt like the one where the tax law for the 65.
yeah,
or-
that was another one.
yeah.
Did you?
That one was
Right.
strange.
Yes, I'm saying, but the way we're having this conversation, because we broke down the amendments and knew what they were. But this is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
It's another 200 out there that didn't know. They just looked at them and said,
Another 200,000 days.
I'm just saying.
That's
They
why
didn't even
these
show
people.
up.
That's why these people should tune in on Sunday because it's vital.
All
You get
right,
vital
absolutely.
information out there. Get that
Right.
plug.
So, but I
Mm.
think that's how I started, Chuck. Like the people that tune in got it.
So we have to be more responsible as a community, right? So if you think about years and years and years ago when people were like actually dying for us to
Mhm.
vote, like the community picked up a larger portion of breaking this stuff down, right? And explaining what we were actually voting for. Like nobody does that anymore. Like when's the last time the church opened the doors to explain to you anything as it relates to politics or
Right.
who you're
So
voting
should we
I
for?
say
don't
that the
remember.
pandemic did it?
Huh?
Should we say that the pandemic did this too? Because it did everything else.
And then
No.
I look. Go ahead. finish.
When and well. I ain't gonna say they don't, but how often?
And how often are they publicized? Do people
Yeah.
in the community actually
So
know
I think
about
that
it?
it's a
People
community
don't
based
go to
thing.
church.
Well, I mean,
People don't go to
anybody
church.
could do it though. Like you don't necessarily have to go to church. But you said today in one of your posts, what makes you all content creators? You
Mhm.
have so
Oh, I'm
many
so
people
sick
out
of it.
here who claiming to be content creators for all of this different stuff. You want to be monetized on
Mhm.
Facebook. Well, monetize yourself for something that actually makes sense and that's gonna do good for your community instead of bull.
Okay. Cool.
Everybody do want to be.
Everybody
want to
be a relationship content creator. You ain't even in a relationship. What you
Yeah,
creating?
You can't even color in the
A book.
lines. You ain't no digital creator.
You gotta
Oh,
vote
man.
though.
Oh.
Before y'all, if for me, before you get into the polling place, a lot of people stand out there in lines and they got a lot of this, stuff going on to get people to the poll.
Yep.
While we're standing in lines and you have those ballots, no one reads those. I'm not gonna say no one, but a vast majority of the people in line, they ain't reading them ballots.
And no
They're
one's
looking at
standing in
how
line.
long.
Last time I ever stood in line was when I voted for President Obama. I ain't never been no line since then. Or
A lot of
before
what
that.
I heard when I was at the polling place was they can't, because I went after 5. Like
Okay.
when I got out of work, and folks was walking in like, Lord, I didn't know this line was gonna be this long. They didn't get the
Really?
ballot right then. They got it as soon as they gave them your driver's license and got that little yellow piece of paper.
Yeah.
They-
Oh, okay. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the sample ballot.
But if we standing in line, why are we not discussing or looking at hey, do you know what this means right here? Whatever.
Because people take voting like looking at your paycheck stub.
For
You
real.
don't want nobody else to know.
No. I'm not saying tell me who you're voting for. I'm saying, but if we don't know, if you know what the amendments are,
Getting a
and we're
mutual
standing in
understanding
line
together.
if this was a concert that we wanted to see,
I got you.
and we stand, if it was a concert, if we want to see Michael Jackson, it's people camp out all night long,
Okay.
and they're discussing what they're gonna do when they get in there. If we standing in line and you know what the amendments are, and I don't know, why am I not saying?
So
Hey,
hey,
sis,
y'all.
tell me what this is
Right.
right here.
Hey, y'all, we represent Vital. Does anybody have any questions about the amendments? Is that illegal?
So no, it's
Okay.
not. So here's the deal. Typically in larger elections, you're gonna have different ballots. Like you got a yellow ballot, a blue ballot that people will give you in line.
Mhm.
Yellow ballot, blue ballot, white ballot, whatever. By the coalition, Team 7, all these other people.
Right.
Emory's group, Emory Anthony's group, progressives, whatever. And they're gonna give you like what you should fill out, right?
Mhm.
This election also hit differently this time right here in Jefferson County because Danny Carr's not on the ballot. 100%. If Danny, hold on, no, he was not. He was unopposed. If Danny had opposition and some other judges and some other people had opposition, more people would be paying attention. But because
Oh.
these people did not have opposition, and so like the coalition and all these other people, it's not that they were disinterested, but like there's no incentive for them to get involved in this on like a monetary situation,
Yeah.
like to pass out these ballots and have like a bunch of people at the polls or whatever. Like that's what happened.
Okay.
But the amendments didn't change on whatever color the ballot is what I'm saying.
It's the same
It's
amendments,
just,
right?
but
Okay.
if we're standing there,
But the information would have
I see what you're saying.
been people would have been
Get into my chat.
ballots with us. People would have been given passing out ballots with suggested this is how you should vote on this. And like people are like lemons, right? Like the whole like not lemons, like lemmings, LEMMINGS. They fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
Right. Follow the lead, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we got you.
So
Okay.
like if there like when there are elections that happen when these ballots are being passed out, people sort of follow that. Like I'm gonna go vote for this person and vote for this person, but like on these amendments, I'm not educated enough about it.
That's what we say.
Right. Yeah.
So basically, we can say, like, if I shouted out these different organizations, the ones you just named as well. Like, if we're out, we cast our votes first or last, however we do them. But we're at our polling places. We've had thorough training on what they stand for, what they are, how to break them down. We go out, we have on these shirts. Hey, got questions? Ask me. Can we see
That's a
people?
dope shirt. Got questions? Ask me.
We make so many shirts. You seen
Is
that
a
when I
shirt?
read
You
it?
seen that shirt? Got questions? Ask me. I've seen Got Milk.
Okay.
My bad.
All right.
Okay.
Could you put when it gets closer to voting time? Could you put people in an auditorium and explain
Yeah.
what the amendments are?
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
I don't.
We didn't even make them have to come anywhere. Turn the radio on, but people have to want it. So now I want to
That's
ask a
the
question.
point.
Now I can just before we go to break. I think we're gonna do 2 hours.
I figured so. I knew you was gonna change your mind.
Oh, because we didn't even talk about the classic yet. No, we were gonna be here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought I was
What's
gonna
up?
go get you some French fries.
My bad.
You want to go get us some fries and come back? But look,
DoorDash.
I ain't paying for that.
I've never done DoorDash.
me either.
That is
Not
too
for no
much.
fries.
I'm paying-
Stay on track.
I need some.
So
look. what if people just are so complacent that it doesn't matter? Y'all gonna
How
handle the
did they
voting.
become this
You're asleep
complacent
at the
though?
wheel. Like
It's
if
okay.
you crash a car, you not driving the vehicle.
I,
Like vote.
it's okay. I go to work every day. I get a check. I can take care of my household. That's all I'm concerned about. Like y'all got the voting stuff. Like that's what Chuck and Woodham be on the radio talking about. I'm straight. Like I'm good on
And
all
Tell
that.
Blue to holler at me. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Y'all want to have that conversation?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Y'all
see.
weren't here. It's the whole thing.
when you're
I think people are going to come out when it's time for the mayor's election.
Oh, for sure.
It's
Not
gonna,
presidential.
yeah, it's gonna be
2024
major
gonna be a
then
deal.
well, how do they not see the importance of
because you have a full 6 weeks before you get your report card, but the third week is just a progress report.
That's right.
Mm.
All right. So listen, last Tuesday, when I got to my day job, I was like, "Ain't nobody got no stickers on." They were like, there were a bunch of people that looked at me like I was crazy.
They
Like,
didn't know what
I was like, "Y'all
nothing.
know it's a voting day, right?" Like literally. So there were in the morning 3 people, in the afternoon 3 out of 35 in the morning, in the afternoon 7 out of. Nah, I had more people in the morning. 7 out of like, so the numbers were better in the afternoon. 7 out of like maybe 30, but still like,
oh yeah, that's still horrible.
I mean, y'all don't know like.
No, my college students. I said, hey, did y'all vote? They was like, now my class is really small. So if we say 10 out of 10, 10 didn't vote.
100%
See, and so
didn't
that's just
vote.
so
That's
crazy
zero.
for me. And if I don't even care if I don't know what I'm voting for, I'm gonna
Just the
vote
right.
just based off the principle. And because I had a granddad who drilled nothing but like go vote, like somebody died.
And then, like I said, I think it's an age thing too because when I was in the poll voting,
I ain't
where
that
I vote,
old. Dave.
no, I'm saying I think it's an age thing because where I was voting at, that was an older man that was sitting at the table with me.
Mhm.
You'd have thought he was taking the bar exam. He was sitting there, I'm talking about hat off, scratching his head.
Like everybody in my
Trying to
whole
But
figure
he
it
was,
out.
but he was of that age. Looks like when he fought so hard to be able to do this, and other people was just like, I gotta go fix some food for my kids. But he was really sitting there like,
trying to figure out these ridiculously
yes.
written.
And that's just so crazy because y'all got kids the same age as my baby. My baby really into voting. Y'all kids not my baby, she be
Yeah.
wanting to know.
Yeah.
And we sat up
Yeah.
and watched it because she be wanting to know.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Actually, I had our girls in the car coming home from school, and Carmen was like, "Man, it's so stupid, man." I was like, "What?" She said, "I can't even much vote. That's dumb." I was like, "You're 14, and I got sense. I want to vote." I was
Oh,
like,
I always wanted to vote.
"I was like, what about you, Nadia?" She was like, "Yeah, it'd be cool."
like, oh
Like,
man.
oh.
I
Be-
don't know. So I just hope maybe our kids will be different. I don't know.
I mean, if
That
they
they'll
keep,
be the same few that come from the few that do it now. Like I hate to sound like I'm not hopeful, but I do. I'm just looking at the reality of what's around us. Like the people that you associate yourselves with pretty much have like principles. Most of the same things matter. You're able to have intelligent conversations. If that's what you do, you may have ignorant conversations, but those are your people. So within my group
and
of
some of those
friends,
things
I
rub
got
off.
different
Yeah.
friend groups.
right, different groups with different stuff. But even my ignorant groups, they want to, because I'm a part of the group, they still want to be somewhat involved. Like, man, I ain't really all into that right there, but what you need me to do? I just need you to go vote.
Go vote.
Like, I have those groups as well. The dice shooting, pole swinging friends. You can swing to the pole. Is this thing on?
I was gonna talk about paying somebody's tuition, but
Yeah, let's go. Let's do that after this break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Vital on B94.9 WATV. Negativity around here. So come and sip some.
what I missed.
I ain't see a lot of people that went to see Kevin Hart. I seen a few.
I don't know. Yeah, I know people. I know two people that were talking about going. Okay.
Hey, we're back. V94.9 WATV on Sunday nights. The V stands for Vital. Got Black, Jeter, Fly Dave, and Chuck
What's
in
cracking?
the building with me, Lady Wu. Y'all, so it has been a big week. There were a few things that
What
happened.
does your shirt say?
Somewhere between All Falls Down and Amazing Grace.
Oh, Mr. Red Hat.
And I have a clip to play from him coming up
Nope.
shortly.
Can we not?
Oh,
Glad
we
I
must.
don't have headphones on.
We absolutely must today. Because remember, tonight's show was scheduled to be a show to learn more about
What?
anti-Semitism. What is
Hey,
that?
listen, folks.
Like, people don't even know what it is.
Look, it's 2022. Don't talk about anybody. It's real
basically.
simple. Don't talk about gay folks. Don't talk about trans folks. Don't talk about black folks, Jewish people,
Just
German
don't
people.
talk.
Just don't. Hey, look,
That's all
let
I'm saying.
everybody live, man. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that complicated.
Talking about him, do we have a clear understanding of what Kyrie Irving did? I don't have a clear understanding.
Yeah,
of
I
that.
do.
He shared.
He posted something, and he shouldn't have.
Okay.
Or here's the deal. So if you are a public figure,
Yeah.
if you are Dana Lady Wu Woodruff, and you tweet something, you are sort of a public figure. So like if you put it out there, that's considered like you are promoting, you are advocating and promoting for whatever it is that you posted.
Right.
So he posted something about a movie that is anti-Semitic, meaning anti-Jewish. So it got a lot of pro-Hitler stuff in there, the Holocaust didn't happen, like blah, 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 blah. Bunch of craziness. He also said the earth was flat like 3 years ago.
And he also was an anti-vaxxer.
It's fine. The vaccine thing,
You can do with that one.
I can rationalize that. The Holocaust existed. 6 million Jewish
For
people lost their
sure.
lives.
Mhm.
Hitler was a bad dude. I mean, it is what it is. But when you post something like that, you are promoting it. And so you can't back away and say, oh, this doesn't make me anti-Semitic because I know my history and like I can't be. You promoted it. And the problem is, the biggest problem with him, two things. Number one, he had not watched the movie when he put it out there. He's admitted that. That's
He
number
just
one.
shared it because it looked like something that would be
He
interesting.
shared it. Number two, the governor of the Nets, they don't say owner anymore. They say governor.
Mhm.
The governor of the Nets was like, hey man, holler at your boy, holler at me, and he didn't do it. So like that's why Kyrie is in the situation.
Oh, okay.
His boss told him to do something, he ain't do it.
Okay.
Or like, if you want to know why this is offensive, come talk to me. Let's have a
Right.
conversation.
But like, don't talk about anybody. Like literally, it's 2022, man. Everybody's got rights, sentiments, feelings, cameras, whatever, and like
But it was
everybody.
all good when he said slavery was a choice, though.
No, not
that
Mr.
was-
Red Hat.
that was-
We talking. No, he's an idiot too. Like,
But still, like all this outrage and people like getting rid of their
And that
contracts and
is
stuff
why it's vital.
was not brought up when he said slavery was a choice.
he didn't talk about another ethnic group.
So
He
let
talked
me-
about us because we ain't canceling nobody. Because like y'all said in the first
Like,
hour,
because we're
the first-
Democrats.
we Democrats and we touchy feeling. We love everybody. We the most forgiving people on the planet.
But I mean, okay, so we are. But then when you putting that in context, as an African American, as a black girl, huh? What? But I'm just saying, like, when you think about African American, Negroes, black people, people of color, like everything that people say about us, everything that has been suggestive or could be this could mean something else. What you really said was the folk that do that type of stuff don't ever have as many issues as people as Kanye West or Kyrie Irving or anybody else that has said anything about any other group. Like when you say stuff about black folks, it's kind of like, okay, we'll take a deal.
We're gonna take it.
But in
Well,
a
so
couple
now-
weeks, we'll bring you back.
I'm
Y'all
not
took
an
that.
advocate
Paula
for
Dean.
this. I'm not an advocate for this, but people say it all the time, and it's one of those things that make you go, So we get upset and outraged when other people from other races say whatever about us, right? But what do we say about ourselves? On many platforms. And we're not outraged at that alone. Why are we so outraged when other people say it?
Because you better not
your,
say it.
your people you can talk about your people. I think.
Yeah, to a
Right?
certain
Like
degree.
if you
Unless you
No,
Herschel
I had a
Walker.
problem when he said slavery was a choice. I don't
You
care
what
who
now?
he was.
Huh?
So you had a problem with that as
You
well.
stopped listening to him then? You
Oh,
didn't?
actually, see, now you're trying to make it seem like I'm stuttering, and I ain't stuttering.
Nah.
Let me just tell you,
Just ask her a question.
I always will listen to before Donda died albums.
When did Donda die? What album?
Um,
See, now you don't even know.
I listened to College Dropout. Everything that was during my
I
college
listened to
freshman
Kanye
years.
West, period. Before or after.
But like after a certain time, his music got a little different
808's
for me.
Heartbreaks.
It's alright,
My
but
Dark
I
Twisted
will
Fantasy.
say that
Best album.
that was a problem for me. Slavery was not a choice. That's disrespectful to your people. That's disrespectful to your ancestors. That's disrespectful to your race in general. And I had a problem with that. That didn't say that I would stop
But-
listening to his music altogether, but I had a
Well, that's
problem
me.
with
But
it. But I'm
that's what
only one
that's
person.
what
That's
that's
me.
what
I'ma
our
let
other
y'all
sisters
finish.
and brothers did. They counseled him. Like, and I heard somebody say, I don't remember what I was watching, but somebody said, he wasn't pro-black when he signed the contract to get them people money. So don't take my money and then turn pro-black because now I want my money back.
And it's kind of like the same thing they was doing with Nick Cannon, though.
What happened with Nick
No,
Cannon?
Nick
I
Cannon
thought he
survived
just
it.
had a lot of kids.
No, he did. He said something else.
Oh, did it recently?
Yeah.
So
That's why they kind of shut him down off Wilding Out.
yeah, like you tripping. So here's the thing.
but Nick Cannon owned it though.
Here's the thing. No matter what your position is, and Chuck, this goes back to what you said in the beginning. Like, yeah, I am Lady Wu. Yeah, you are Fly Dave. Yeah, you are Chuck. Yeah, you are Courtney. And we're here on the radio. Black, we're here. And we have people that pay attention to what we post and what we say. I'm going to be very clear by saying that if I believe something, this is what I believe.
That's fine. He didn't watch the.
Well, that's
He
that
didn't
one
watch the
particular.
mo-
Yeah,
right.
that's just that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
But just in general, if I'm saying something, this is what I believe. If you support me, you support me. If you don't, you don't. And I'll take the L
Sure.
on that. If it's put out that way.
But you can believe what you believe. You can believe what you believe on your own platform.
Right.
It's certain beliefs that you can't have while
You
you're
cannot.
operating on Courtney French's radio station.
That's also true. Numbers 1,000%.
So you like that.
1,000%.
You like that.
She's right.
Okay. So let's look at this part of it. Because I like to look at every angle of all of this. Chuck, whereas you may not like, do you not like him as a person or as
I just don't rock with that dude anymore, so I don't know. I'm
you don't
so
know if you
far
don't like him or
gone.
not?
I'm so far gone because
You
I've
don't
been
like
doing
him
this
at
for a
all.
long time.
Did
So-
you call him Mr. Red Hat?
Mr. Red Hat, I don't rock with.
I just want to make it. I want us to look at it from all angles. Now, if we can openly and honestly say that, okay, this is not the same Kanye from this point in time, and we know
Sure.
that things have happened, where does that play into the conversation?
It plays into my decision making about him, right? So like, I can look at a series of events, I think,
Mhm.
and say, okay, I'm with you. It's the same thing I talk about. Like, this is gonna get me in trouble. It's fine. If you voted for President Trump the first time around,
Yeah,
and you had reasons for it, I could still rock with you. It's fine.
the first time, right?
The first time, because you might have been like, oh, I don't want like so Hillary Clinton at that point in time was talking about putting more women on like the Supreme Court, like blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with you, but these are reasons I can understand. If you rock with him the second time, I don't rock with you no more. If you
Okay.
vote for him the second time, I don't rock with you anymore because he showed you who he was, the bigotry, the anti-black, the pro, all this other kind of stuff. And like, I can't rock with you anymore.
Listen to this.
It's the same thing with like, wait, am I listening to something?
Yeah, because he's explaining
Who? Mr.
Kanye.
Red Hat?
Yeah, I want like I
You
feel
don't
like
wanna
if
hear
you're
it?
gonna be
No, I'm gonna listen to it.
if you're a well-rounded
yes.
thinker, you have to put everything in perspective. One commenter right here on our live says, these people don't want to hear that speaking. They don't want to hear that speaking up mess from no athlete or entertainer. So it's almost like I just want you to stick with the script.
No. Speak up for things that are wrong. Being anti-Semitic, like, come on, man.
Okay, let's go.
That's different.
Let's listen.
You want to?
That's how they try to categorize
They
it.
can't control. You get what I'm saying? They can control Shaq. They can control Charles Barkley. They can control LeBron James. They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me. You
No,
see, it
you.
ain't no name I won't name. It's up.
Not you.
You know what I'm saying? And just for minutes of Farrakhan, I love you, but the way you read that, I took that as a slight. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking no disrespect from nobody. So let's get on the phone. Let's talk that out. I don't care who you are. I ain't taking no slice from nobody, right? I ain't taking no slice from nobody. It's God. That's the only person that I serve. My mom ain't here. My mama was sacrificed.
Me sure.
You understand?
Yeah. I'm Christian.
Michael Jordan, what about him? His daddy, right? Bill Cosby, his son, right? Dr. Dre, his son.
That's weird.
Sounds believable.
He
Hold
say
on,
it's
some of
up.
It's up.
He
I
said
said
it's
what I
up.
said.
He also said some of these people were sacrificed. That's weird.
Yeah, I mean, so I think I just look at it from the idea of maybe I did sign with the people when I got all my money. Maybe I did marry a Kardashian because I saw that boom. This is whatever I did to do what I did and get what I got. I got it, but I still know who I am and I still know what I believe.
So,
and y'all think I'm crazy because I'm saying it.
No, I think Mr. Red Hat is Mr. Red Hat for it.
Tell people why you call him that.
Because of the whole MAGA thing. Make him MAGA. That's fine. I think his situation and Kyrie's
I don't know,
situation.
but that's why you called him that.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he put on a red hat.
Yeah.
Those are two separate situations to me. Like Kanye talking about his contracts and all that kind of stuff. It's fine, whatever. I don't know that I necessarily disagree with some of the things he said.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving putting a video out there that said that the Holocaust didn't exist and like Hitler was like a good dude and all this other kind of stuff is crazy. Like you should not do that. Like it's just those two things are separate.
Are those two extreme? Okay, so maybe I'm looking at it from
opinion.
It's an opinion that could be. Is it like Joe Rogan and his opinion? Like, no, you can't do that.
The Holocaust happened. That's not an opinion.
Just like slavery.
Hitler was a bad dude. I mean, it's what
awful.
it is. I mean, so like that's not an opinion. That's a fact.
So they're facts, but hey, if I like because I share it, and that's what I think the Adam Silver was saying. Like, I don't believe that you're anti-Semitic. I just believe that you
made a bad call.
So like maybe this was interesting to you. You shouldn't have shared it. You should just watch it at home or just look at it.
Hold
send
on.
it to your
You should have
homeboys.
watched it at the very least. Watch it before you share it.
Send it to your group chat and be like, "Hey, y'all, look
guys,
at this.
what do you think if I put this out there?"
I do that all the time in our group chat.
Right, like I didn't
Sometimes
read it,
I
but it
send
looked
y'all
like something I
stuff.
wanted to
Hey, y'all look at
share.
that. Yeah.
Oh.
Right, because you
Man,
really
Kyrie, I wouldn't even put it in my group chat because you don't know who's trying to capitalize on you nowadays.
Okay.
I'd have looked at it, especially with you being a public figure. I'd have looked at it myself and made a conscious choice. With Kanye, I think Kanye he's gotten in trouble so bad with this stuff that he don't know how to fix it. It's no fixing.
But what if I don't? I'm not trying to fix it. This
I
is
think
the truth.
No, I think he is because he's lost so much, but he ain't. It's
Man,
almost.
I got land out here that I bought.
But who does he have?
Huh?
Who does he have?
What do you mean?
Like in his
And
corner.
so
or
Blaque,
as a supporter.
that is a very solid question because I was thinking about that as well. Like, who can I trust if I'm really if I'm spilling tea like this and people are around me and I don't know who, like at this point I don't know who to trust, but this is the truth.
You dropped the
It's up.
Two names that you dropped were two of the biggest entertainers in the industry. You dropped Jay-Z and Beyonce.
And they threw him away when he married Kim.
And probably because when they saw him spiraling too.
Yeah.
But y'all let me go. Like, we gonna let Chuck go just because he started spiraling on the air?
No.
I mean, I don't know.
I ain't gonna throw Chuck away. I'm
Never?
just gonna like
are you gonna pull his
talk about
coattail?
him.
I
Yeah, I'm like, hey,
mean-
bro, what's wrong with you?
Are we gonna lock him up in the house?
But there's a video. If I find it, I'll show it to you. Where Jay-Z and Kanye had their sit down. He tried to tell that man, back.
Hold on. Dave, I don't think that's true. I don't think that. Hold on. Find it. I don't think that like Jay and Beyonce dropped Kanye when he married Kim. Something happened, and like Kanye's Mr. Red had
spun
said
out.
something.
It was a Taylor
He
Swift
said
thing.
something, and then that's when they were like, because at the
I'm gonna let
very
you finish,
beginning,
but Taylor Swift had. I mean, I'm gonna let you finish Taylor Swift, but Beyonce had the greatest album of all time. It started there.
wait, what?
That's when it started when Kanye.
When he
jumped on
started having
stage.
these outbursts,
and they started distancing.
No,
then.
the first thing he
That's
said
what-
was for us. George Bush doesn't care about black people.
And that was
but that ain't when they started splitting. They started splitting after the
After
Taylor
Taylor
Swift
Swift
thing.
thing?
Yeah, because
Okay.
that was about Beyonce. So it's kind of like,
and she
like,
did have that
nah,
response.
Like, dude,
Like,
that ain't what you was supposed to do. Like, you're a risk now. You kind of like a liability. You were the homie, but we gonna keep you over here.
and maybe he was just crunk about it.
But like
just
Chuck
hunger,
said, you were
nothing
already.
else.
But like Chuck said, you were already a risk when you went on public television and said George Bush does not care about white people.
That's what I
What's
believe.
his name? Mike. What's his name?
Yeah.
Mike Myers. He was sitting there looking puzzled as, even though that's what I believe.
Mhm.
Them people filming that, then know you was gonna say that, so
Okay.
you shocked the world.
But were any of us angry about that comment?
No.
None of us sitting in this room were angry, but it was a lot of people that we.
You can best believe some celebrities at the watch party said,
Yeah.
"This."
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, but that whole thing that was during Hurricane Katrina time.
It was.
And
Yeah,
everybody
that was the whole
felt
point, right?
emotional.
And everybody felt a certain way. So like you could give them a pass because even white folks,
Yeah,
everybody felt like
it
Katrina was
more
a problem.
accepted then.
Yeah.
So,
But like when
so-
you get divisive, it's weird.
yeah, so it did right. It did take a turn when he became Mr. Redhead. But I want like
That's
what
the first time I heard you say that. Look at
I
you.
mean,
I'm
because
so
I
proud.
want to just honor you in that.
Hey.
Like
At the end of the day,
It's
Kanye-
not respect up in
because he
here.
did listen to the clip. Like I want to
He
honor
did.
you, my brother. So I just want us to be mindful of like those stages. Black said, who does he have?
Who does he have?
I'm
I don't
trying
know.
to like I'm trying to reach you. Like I'm telling you, I stand for what you stand for.
Cuddy jumped off. Saha the Prince ain't rocking with him no more.
Like, who
Pusha
does he
T,
have to
I don't
turn
think-
to?
Pusha T has said
He
some
said
like
his mama dead, so at this point I really don't need none of y'all. I'm saying what I'm saying.
Pusha
Well,
T has
okay.
said like some very vanilla comments about him. Like I don't know that Tyler said.
You have the real.
Yeah, I don't know.
I gotta distance myself. Yeah, you
Because everybody who you were one of the hottest names in the game, and whether you were hot positively, now you're hot negatively. But everybody who you were tied to was somebody in that industry. Like they got to distance themselves from you, man. Before
but there are some I don't know who it will be to bring him in because he's crossed so many different lines. Like you if you went
Now Russell,
over here.
was it Russell? It was Russell Simmons. He posted a video that I shared a couple of weeks back. And he was trying to extend a helping hand.
but you gotta think
Yeah.
about it. At one point in time, folks were saying Russell was a sellout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that he was a woman beater. They were saying he was a sellout too.
Kamara Lee.
Kamara
Simmons.
Lee.
Gamora.
They were
Oh.
saying he was, he was, because people thought he was way weird when he started doing Buddhism.
Yoga,
So
yeah.
so they were saying he was a sellout. So maybe him and Kanye, maybe he can bring some
He
sense
made
to.
some good. He made
to
some
Kanye.
valid points and just basically talking about his stint that he had with Adidas and how
Who?
She said a real proper.
Right,
Adidas. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he was just talking about the stint that Run DMC had with them. The stint that Run DMC had with them, and he was basically saying, Kanye can go off and he can branch off and he can do his own thing. People told Russell Simmons that he wasn't gonna be able to do it, but he did. So he can emerge from this if he wants to, but he gonna have to shut up.
I mean, I see
Yeah.
shooting the like
Cop
trying
killer?
to kill the police, and now he is one on TV. Like you can
Cop,
always
Right.
switch it
Cop
up.
killer to Law and Order.
Yes, you can always switch it up.
You got
Snoop
Ice Cube that
Dogg,
was in NWA.
I mean, hey, I'm a daddy
And he-
driving car.
Are we there
Right.
yet?
Are we there yet?
Are we
Are
there
we
yet?
there yet? So I think that's a valid question. Like, can you come back from
He
these
can
type
come
things?
back from this.
But are we
I don't
not?
think he can. I don't think he can come back.
I
Not with me.
mean,
Now I'm not saying with me. I just think what he's done in the media has rubbed too many people who can push play.
Okay.
but there are some people that still believe in change and
And
Well,
truth.
That ain't how I'm looking at it though. Like he gonna have to push play on his own stuff. Like, and he gonna have to build relationships in other areas. It may not be in entertainment. He may have to go in a completely different direction. But he got
may be
enough of
vice
his own
president.
bread.
Do you remember when that was a radio personality? I don't know if I can say it on.
Don't
air.
say it. I don't even know who it is, but don't say it. Yeah, don't say it. Just tell the story.
He just went away.
Just-
Like you don't know, you don't hear
what
any.
happened?
He made a comment some years back, and he had a hot show. But now you can't find this dude anywhere because he rubbed. Nah, he rubbed
Mhm.
somebody who could really push, play. They could really call the shots.
So he
Even
got
when,
blackball.
even when he left the airways, he tried to do his own online Facebook stuff.
Mhm.
But now you don't have that. And if you go on anything concerning him and ask where is he or whatever, nobody responds.
Like this is also like, I mean, it's just the truth. The Jewish community has a lot of influence in America,
Mhm.
They
and
do.
in especially in the entertainment industry. Why on God's name, Yahweh? I guess is that better? Why?
Yay.
Why on Yahweh's green earth would you ever say anything or do anything to offend them? And like they're sort of like your bosses. You can get blackballed by them. Like, it is what it is.
But that may be the thing. I don't care
It's
anymore.
crazy,
like
man.
I'm willing to give it all up because this is my truth, and I need y'all to wake up too.
Nah,
like,
this is what he wants
I'm
to talk about
good.
right now. This ain't his truth.
So let's see. So when it switches, what the conversation is going to sound like? Is there going to be more music? Is he going to be institutionalized? Is something going to happen to him? Like, like
I would understand this more right now if he dropped an album last week. I would get it. I would be like, at least there's something I can wrap my mind around. I can do the mental gymnastics because he was trying to put himself in the public sphere, and then he dropped an album. It happened. So like, I don't get it.
So
That's me,
then the comment that we have here that says that Black folks don't have nobody like an Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Farrakhan, or NAACP to speak up for us like we had even in the 90s. And I totally agree
Those
with
people
that.
still alive, man.
They are, but
I saw Al Sharpton on TV yesterday.
They are definitely mainstream.
He's smaller now, but
very much so. But okay,
he ain't wearing no tracksuit.
Jita, to that point, very much mainstream, very much also immersed into that culture as well. They are iconic. Come on, man. Like,
and it seems like the people who are trying to follow in their footsteps, once they reach like the height of their career and they make it to mainstream, they kind of fall off, and Black people don't matter no more.
Can you name names? Because I don't know who they are. I actually, and this is not, I'm not trying to set you up. I don't know who our generation. Maybe Stacey Abrams to a degree, but not really, because that's still about like Georgia.
It would have been like Cousin Jeff. It would have been like Jeff Johnson.
Jeff Johnson.
It would have been.
Why does that name? Who is Jeff Johnson? Is
used
a
to
dude
be on
from
BT, and it used to be the people on BT. Let's just.
I know
do it that
Torre.
way. It could have been.
That's a journalist, right?
What's the
like
attorney's
Bob or
name?
Bob magazine.
Ben Crump.
Yeah.
Who?
Possibly.
Ben Crump.
Possibly.
Ben on a legal.
It's nobody
thing,
that's just it's nobody that is a Martin Luther King Jr. or we don't have, or like Sean King. People know Sean King.
Hey
but they know
man,
Sean
I went to
King
school with that cat. He's real. That's a
was
whole.
he different?
Oh, I can give you. That's 2 hours. That's 2 hours.
Is he Black?
Heck
That's
no.
2 hours.
That man
Real
ain't
talk.
Black.
Hey, shout out to Karan Phillips though. He ain't gonna
look
listen to this,
Black.
but like,
Okay, so
that's
I
the
was
whole
over
thing.
here doing some research,
Yeah.
right? Talking.
But the one person who probably could help. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I didn't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't know you was doing that. But I didn't know she. Go ahead, Black.
Come on, good.
Spell with the Q.
Oh, okay.
UE.
So during
A to Black.
one of my previous day jobs, I used to sit with this older Jewish lady,
Mm-hmm.
and we would talk. She about 90 something. We would talk and stuff, and so I had to make sure before I repeated this. But the Jews were very instrumental in building the NAACP. Did y'all know that?
100%.
And so I was wondering, like, if anybody else knew that, and then why all of a sudden these comments are coming out about the Jews. Are they angry with them because they do have their hands a lot in the entertainment industry?
Yeah.
Was
And
Julia Roberts Black? I mean,
Yes.
Jewish. She was
No.
Jewish.
Wait, who?
Julia. Is it Julia? It ain't Julia. What was the cook name? Julia. Is that her name? Yeah. Was she Jewish?
I don't know.
And I just asked because I think I was listening to Chris the other day, and they were saying how Martin Luther King's family and her family were really good friends.
she was French.
Jewish people are very
She was French.
instrumental,
Yeah.
like economic wise, and also like their own personal capital wise in the civil rights, like in the civil rights.
But
movement.
see,
According
okay.
it says Henry
White folk-
Moskowitz issued a call for a meeting during racial injustice. So
yes,
it was him along with W.E. Du Bois, Ida B. Wells, and Mary Church Terrell.
I don't like the phrase ally. I don't like the word ally, but
Yeah.
like they are allies. Like they have been
Okay.
since
So-
day one.
But
Like, come on,
that is
man.
a big part of the conversation, though. That is why it's a conversation. Like they went through the Holocaust and went through the different things that they went through
It's like
as a group. But then you have a group of people like us who were brought here, and we never were able to get an up. We were never able to be those that can back anything or have any type of say so anywhere. But they were, and it's like anytime you say anything about anything Jewish or anybody Jewish, you just wrote yourself a bad check. Like this is
Well,
But
It's not
actually,
limited
I've
to
spoken to
Jewish
some Jewish
How do
people, and they
Jewish
don't
people get-
even.
How do Jewish people get so much money? Were
They
there
good
like
with they money.
insurance
Concentrated wealth.
plans or something?
Concentrated wealth.
Concentrated wealth.
and it's not because of the Holocaust and paybacks.
No,
It's not
No.
like a reparations
it's
type.
not
Okay.
reparations. It is they came here, they established communities. Listen, if the whole Tulsa thing didn't happen and the whole Black Wall Street, we didn't get burned down to the ground, Black people might be in a different situation.
Okay.
But that
Not
was
super
just
great.
in those areas though, right? Like that
It might have
how
been-
would they have impacted?
I think there's a universe that exists. Like, let's make this like
Like
a Marvel
Wakanda.
movie or whatever. And so
It's Wakanda.
there's a multi. Did y'all see that movie? Already?
No, we got to talk
No.
about that when we come back. We got to take a break. Hold that
Oh,
thought
y'all
about the
just cut me
universe.
off.
We
I
just
try
got
to-
to. We just
I'ma
be right
forget by
back.
the
It's
time we
coming.
get
No,
back.
just hold it. Write it down. We'll be right back. $8949 is the number. So before we went to break, we were talking about a lot of different things, but we were talking about so first of all, we had a big show scheduled for tonight, and we're gonna make. I didn't want to do it until we could have all of the guests to come in. So we have a lady that is a Black Jew. I think that's a great conversation to have from somebody that is a
Samaria
part.
Davis Jr.
Yeah, so somebody that's a part of the community, and then somebody that is an educator on all things Jewish, and then just the biblical history of that. People will say, well, Jesus was a Jew, but we still don't understand what any of that means. Who is Noah, and who are his sons, and where do they go, and what does Semitism mean? What is any of that? So I want to have that conversation and do that from a vital standpoint of being able to educate. That's something that I am interested in learning more about as well, especially when it comes to the fact that somebody can say, hey, if you're Jewish, you have access to everything. You basically run the world. Like, I want to know how that happens.
I don't know. There's an influence there.
I just actually read over something that said on average Jews are better educated and more wealthy than other Americans.
Yes.
And there are more Jewish members of Congress than their share of the population. However, FBI reports show that Jews have been attacked in hate crimes more than any other U.S. religious group.
So it's that's a religious group, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not
it's
ethnic,
not like you grow up.
I was like, but a lot of Jewish people don't identify as white. they
No, right.
feel like
Yeah.
I'm not white, I'm Jewish.
And that's where it gets confusing. If it's
Well,
if
not
it's
to us.
yeah, I mean, because we
Well, I
black.
mean, honestly, I'm just gonna be honest, and I hope
You were confused about some of this?
No, I'm not confused about it at all. But sometimes I be like, they not white, they Jewish,
Right.
because
and-
they look different.
well, and
Their skin tone looks different.
But
Their
how-
hair color looks
it's the
different.
hair for me.
Like
The
their
cur-
hair, their
Yeah.
texture, all of that stuff looks different.
So, but when you go back biblically and you're looking at where, what tribe, and so that's the other part of education that you don't learn in Sunday school. Sunday school is basic, Jesus loves me. It doesn't really get into
This I
what the
know.
Bible tells me. So that's all you know. It ain't no lineage teaching in Bible school. Like who do we come from? We come from Ham, right?
Mhm.
Blacks, right? All right, so
Black.
blacks,
Well, I don't know.
people
The
of
blacks.
deep color, people of
Look
other
at you know in the
hues.
Bible. Your parents raised you right.
What just happened?
Amen. So, but right, like we learn
Seriously.
those things, but when it comes to who runs the world, does it go back to that part of like, is it that far back? Is it biblically based that hey, some of y'all didn't follow some commandment and you got cursed or something, so you didn't get anything? Like you don't. That's the conversation that we're having right now. Welcome to the show. It's the final half if you're just tuning in.
I don't know what just happened, but as I was doing my research on Jewish people, like my computer just blanked out. It logged me
Right.
off of
You better
everything.
get on off
See?
Beyonce's internet.
Oh, so it's Beyonce's internet.
See, try to tell you.
All right. I
All
mean,
right,
but
I'm back.
they would appreciate this conversation because we want to be educated. We want to be vital about this. Chuck, I think you made an outstanding point in the beginning about
you.
just letting people live. But I think in order for us
Yeah.
to be sensible enough about letting people live, we have to also understand that, hey, we are different. There are differences. Everybody's not the same. People come from different places, different experiences. So in order for me to let you live, I have to respect that. And I don't know that we respect that even within our own races, ethnic groups, and religions.
Why do you care about somebody else that's so different from you that you want to denigrate them? I don't understand that. Like I'm not that.
Like, why am I that bothered by you?
Yeah, like move on. Like I don't care what you got going on over here. Like I like a lot of people. I don't care that much about people. It is what it is.
Right, like
If I can
about
help you-
their
yeah, like
their idiosyncrasies
Yes.
and their isms and or not.
$10 word.
Yeah, like just be okay. Everybody should be able to be okay in a space. But then when you think about our experience, like I don't know that I experienced this a lot as an individual matriculating, but just thinking about
$12
putting
word.
blacks in a room with whites, and there's always or whites in a room with blacks, and there's this discomfort and there's this unsaid we're not the same type thing. Like will we ever be able to get past that?
Look, so at my old day job,
Mm-hmm.
'cause I started a new job next week. But
All
anyway,
right now.
Oh, congratulations. What are you
Thanks.
gonna be doing?
I'll tell y'all here.
It just
So,
tell me about where you're gonna be.
so
We can't talk about life?
it was this conversation being had, and this girl was saying how when they go in the sun, this white girl,
Mhm.
she said they start peeling and stuff. And me and other black girls sitting there listening, we were like this. I was like, we don't do that. She's like, what? Y'all don't peel? I was like, no, ma'am. Black people don't peel.
That's not true.
You've been sunburned.
I've never been
But
sunburned.
it takes a lot.
It
for
takes
us
a
to-
lot for us to,
Yeah, it's
to
not
peel
easy.
Black
because
folks to get
it was a thing
sunburned.
about skin cancer, about how
Yeah.
many black people have melanomas and stuff like that. I was like,
Yes.
it's very, very rare, but it happens.
because
But
we have melanin.
right, so the sun just kind of it nourishes our body, you know.
So y'all think y'all spit? I'm just playing.
I mean, I'm sorry
been-
how y'all look. It don't
I-
burn me.
You're not high
I ain't
yellow.
never been burned.
Okay.
You like
okay.
more caramel. You're not high yellow. Not even
Preacher,
close.
let's see. Preacher, let's see.
So here's the
preacher.
deal. I've been sunburned before. It is one of the most unpleasant experiences you can have.
Is
Like,
she
it-
pilly?
Oh my God, you can't take a shower. It's awful.
Can we-
I was in Jamaica. I got
Can we-
sunburned in Jamaica.
I'm the
I
darker.
got crispy.
I'm the darker.
No,
So I
got
kind of want to
super dark.
piggyback off of that,
Okay.
but it's gonna take us into a different topic a little bit.
Let
Well,
go.
let me share these comments and then we shall go. Jew is from Judah. No, we come from Shem. So we were wrong.
Oh, Shem, not yeah, I did.
Not Shem, not Ham.
Not him. Shem, not him.
Shem Ham.
Brass
Shiite.
calves.
Okay.
Birmingham.
We are from Shem. Ham's lineage went more eastward, Egypt and the like. So then that's the
What's the
other
Brass
thing.
Calf song?
That's the other thing. Folk be like, well, I got, Egyptian. Like, we don't know. That's the other part of who we are. Like, we lost a
therefore,
lot of lineage.
I just embrace as much of our heritage wherever I can get it
Some-
from. as
something that's
possible.
black, right?
Something. Like my
Mhm.
son's name is Cairo. My first son's name was Pharaoh. I mean,
But the meaning of these names and these places, are we educated enough to know what they mean and where,
Absolutely.
you know,
Before
like
I
where it
named my
is?
son Cairo, I knew that it meant victorious one. I knew that.
Look at Dave, like generally no.
Generally, I don't think we know for real.
In general, probably not.
I'm gonna
But
get
there
this
are those
cause
select
Erica
few.
Badu did it, and I'm gonna burn these incense
Real talk.
cause
Yeah.
And then when you do
'cause
that, then they
so-and-so
become
did
the
it.
deepest people in the world
Right.
oh man.
because you got locks and you wear shea butter.
I just was talking about those people the other day. Like, stop popping out with these locks, and you just had a perm yesterday.
But I want to find something that I can relate to, something that I can connect to. And if
Yeah.
I don't know who I am, where I'm from, I'm gonna connect to something that feels good to me,
Yep.
whatever that might be.
Hey, so if you ever want to know, it's a long song. Razzcast dropped this song. He's a cat from the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Nature of the Threat. It's a 7-minute and 43-second long song. He dropped it like 93, 94.
Okay.
But it goes through all of like Black people's history. So he's right. The person who called in, Shim, I forgot about that. Not Ham, but yeah, go ahead.
What's the name of the song again?
Nature of the Threat.
Nature of the thread. All right.
And also, you can listen to some Dead Prayers.
Yeah.
They'll put you on a lot of game about who you are.
That's more political.
And that's where we lack.
What was Grand Verbalizer? Grand Verbalizer, what time is it? Van Glorious.
Yes.
But look, even before this, you got War. You got what's my man?
Not Brand Nubian.
Well, we're pulling. We're okay. So yeah, music history class. Get that middays and the free lunch flashback. However, right now, where were you gonna take us, Jeter?
I don't remember.
Sorry.
I don't remember what you said that made me think about this, but it took me to the white guy who wrote the letter as it relates to classic and white people being accepted. And I think so many people took that letter the wrong way because I just didn't take it how everybody else took it.
That letter is super divisive amongst my friends.
Where is it?
It is super divisive.
Can we find it right quick?
Super.
I think so.
Like it's a 50-50 split. And I know the guy. X-Clan, that's right. I know the guy.
I shared it on Facebook. I'll have to go and find it.
I'm
But
looking for it.
he was basically saying
you.
how he had never been to Classic before, and how he had always wanted to go, and he
Hold
kind of
on. Well, I'm sorry. Let me cut you off and set this stage. He's also a Hoover City Councilman.
he is.
Go
He's
ahead.
a Hoover City
Now-
councilman, and I think that he did attend this year with
Yes.
the only councilman.
Derek Murphy.
Yeah, and he's
Yes.
the only councilman in Hoover that is a
Black.
black guy.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, but he basically said that he never went because he never knew if he would be accepted.
Well, don't nobody even see you.
At
Too many
all,
people.
right? But
Are you trying to go to the box? Like, what you trying to do? If you just be out here, you
know
out
the white
here.
people at Classic, they stand out because they ain't alive.
I
So
mean,
it's
but
not-
who really? I don't know. When I think about it, like, who really cares? Like, okay, just come on.
Right, we got
Grab
white
you
folk that went to
something to
state. White folk.
All right,
that
so
ain't
how
there.
many black folks pulled up the Garbrooks?
And that part
That's my
I do,
point,
and
right?
that's why I understood. That's
No,
why I
not a lot.
understood.
There's a whole lot of us
Smattering.
out there with our
It was
boots
a
and
lot. I
jeans
wasn't
on.
there.
That's why I understood the letter.
Yeah.
Because I've been in spaces and places where I may not have necessarily
Yep.
thought that I was gonna be accepted, and I've even like thought, well, I ain't going in there because ain't nobody in there gonna look
Right.
like me. You know what I'm saying? So I understood where he was coming from. But you know, if you're gonna go and have a good time.
But Chuck said somewhat divisive, and I feel that part. Like, I don't know anywhere that I feel like I want to go that I would feel like I don't know. Like, I know that if it's on some bike stuff, I may be the only black girl in the room. I know if it's on some gun stuff, I might be the only black girl in the room. I know if it's on some over to the gun range by myself middle of the day, maybe the only, like these are things that I like, and I don't care if I'm accepted. Like, it's public. It don't say no blacks on the door. I'm on the way.
When I lived in Atlanta, I did not know from traveling from Atlanta to Birmingham when the Talladega 500 is going
Yeah.
on. The best time to travel is during the race because anytime after the race and before the
Oh,
race,
you
you're in
jam,
traffic.
you are
Traffic.
gridlocked.
I got caught in a gas station right there, and I was and people. It was so many people tailgating. They were tailgating all outside
you
on
gotta
the
take
road.
back roads day.
And when I got there, I got stuck and couldn't move for about 3 hours. And I was like, get my pistol and all this stuff. Those folks end up being some of the coolest
Right,
people in
yeah.
the world. So
But you gotta just kind of.
So that's why
we gotta take those.
I'm glad you said that because like I live in two different worlds all the time.
Mm.
For if y'all know me, my life is it's weird. But like Talladega, like I've been going to Talladega to the races for the last 4 years. I
Mhm.
go with my white friends, but I also know some black people. So it's weird. Like the white people I go with, we go out there and we playing like Thunderstruck and like doing all this other kind of stuff like in the fields. The black folks,
And better, Dave. Don't look
hold
over
on, and
here.
the black folks win a box, and it's so counterintuitive to what you think it is, right? But
Like
like,
the blacks are watching because wow, this is so fun and
well, it's also
interesting.
confined to like this is a safe space.
Right, right.
But like when I'm out there with my white friends, it's cool because I'm this single solitary black dude amongst this sea of white people. But the white people were like, "Oh, you here, so you cool because you at the
Now,
spot."
and see what's
I
so
found it.
crazy.
That's crazy.
Okay, hold that. What's
And
so
I feel like
crazy,
the same
Chuck?
thing about John and the Magic City Classic. Like, if you white, you pull up to the Classic, we like, oh,
We at the
you with
classic,
us.
right? In these
Oh.
moments where the theme is the theme, right? The theme is the theme. We're here for what we're here for. We're not here to be racist in this particular moment. Even if I'm flying my Confederate flag over here, I mean, hey, we out here because we like.
Don't bring your flag to the classic.
Yeah,
Take it off the back of your truck.
But like, like if I fly my African flag at the classic, I ain't gonna not speak to him or not. Hey, you can have a drink. Like that's just kind of what happens normally. Now I ain't saying pull up to a Klan rally, but I am saying like if it's something that we vibe here, like like I said, motorcycles, racing, give me something else, hunting, something that is like kind of dominated by another culture. Hey, why can't we be okay with doing things that we like
You
to
can
do?
be okay, but I think the initial thought of it is,
It's a HBCU thing,
nobody
so
else-
I'm not black,
Yeah.
so I'm not welcome there.
If
No.
you are black and you see a bunch of people in white and pointed hats, don't pull up.
Right, like, hey, what y'all got to eat over there now?
Well, somebody made a comment on that post that Jeter's talking about
Yeah.
that said their fear is because some folks were like, don't come, I don't want you to come. I was like, man, come, pull up. But some people said if too many of them pull up, then Classic is gonna take on a different culture.
They're gonna
That ain't
whitewash
got
it.
nothing to do with
Yeah,
them.
that's that. But
That don't
some people made that comment though.
And that's just the furthest thing from the truth. I feel like we are, and I get it to a certain extent, but we always try to put a black or white spin
on
stuff,
everything.
and it ain't
Sometimes,
always about that.
Yeah. The two dopest shows I've been to this calendar year, was Earth Gang and
Mhm.
Saturn, all black, with a smattering of white people. And then believe Reba McEntire with a smattering of black people. It was dope. Like, but like you
Those
can
are good
exist-
experiences.
Yeah, you can exist in both worlds, man. It is what it is.
It was a good letter,
It's
right?
really a letter.
All right, read the
What
letter,
letter?
man.
Okay. Year
Wait,
after
what is this?
This is the letter.
that we're
this is
talking
the
about.
letter about that a
It's super
Caucasian.
divisive though.
It says our over the mountain Caucasians welcome to the Magic City Classic. Year after year, I'd find myself once again allowing Classic Weekend to come and go, telling myself I'd go next year. After all, I felt somewhat qualified to attend, being married to my wife Beth, a proud graduate of the School of Alabama A&M, class of 1997. But am I qualified to attend? Would I be welcome? For 26 years, I allowed myself to believe that I'd not be welcome. That over the amount of Caucasian graduates of non-HBCUs would carry on the tailgates and traditions in Tuscaloosa and Auburn and leave the classic to those who had deep roots in HBCUs. I'm going to skip around. Finally, after 26 years, I took the opportunity and accepted the invite. As soon as I stepped out of the car and into the unique tailgate scene I'd never experienced, I knew my exceptions were unfounded. I was also made welcome in a way that I did not expect or imagine. I found myself revisiting memories of traveling to Tuscaloosa, blah, blah, blah. The haze of smoke emitting from the throngs of tailgaters was unlike anything I had seen here previously. It was apparent that the vast majority of classic tailgaters highly prefer cooking over catering. And oh my, do they cook. Fryers, smokers, and grills cranking out and seemingly unending supply of catfish, chicken wings, smoked meats,
Now, see, I don't
and
know.
accompanying
Hold on, bro.
Southern soul food at its finest.
You was doing okay. Now you got to
but
start
again,
naming stuff.
It's experience.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Drawing an estimated 200,000 people to the area for an entire week of pet rallies, a parades, soirees, block parties, and a scholarship breakfast. It surpasses a total attendance the region's traditional golf tournament, SEC baseball tournament, and Honda Indy all national. Basically, he said that
And the Iron Bowl.
in the Iron Bowl, he said basically the classic trump all of that. He enjoyed himself. He glad that he came. He enjoyed the culture, and I'm glad that we acted right and, and embraced him because white people will have they'll feel like they won't be welcome or like we'll look at them crazy or something. And we're really not like that. So I'm glad that he came and was able to take that back to Over the Mountain so they would know. I'll post a letter on my page because it's
Please
real
do.
long.
Yeah, tag Vital Show.
He said he's very grateful for the opportunity that he had to attend the experience. Something so special and unique in Birmingham. I'll be back next year, and let me assure you that you have an invitation as well. I hope you all enjoy me.
So I just want to know, is his wife Beth Blaque?
No.
Okay, so
She's
Beth,
white. She got a minority scholarship.
Beth went to A&M.
Right, Bill
Filthy.
That's all I want to know. Like,
was at band practice.
okay, okay.
Y'all
I
gotta get us
mean-
put off.
Wait.
I just want to know, like,
I mean, we used to go to band practice.
Bill was in the
we
band.
weren't even in the band.
Now, was she in the band or was she in the band?
In the band. Like, I'm just trying to see. That's what's up, though. I'm glad he enjoyed it.
So
you know,
it's weird. So
I'm
I
glad.
Can't, I can't really tell y'all how I know. I think I can actually. No, I can't. I can't tell you how I know him, and I cannot tell you the conversations that we have had. Because
Okay.
I can tell y'all off air. I still probably can't tell y'all then either. But he strikes me as a cool dude, right? Like, so I said to somebody else or in a different thread, I'm like, my jury's still out on him, but like, I'm leaning towards like him being like a cool dude, like trying to figure it out, right?
Okay.
So,
And that's
Yeah, we were looking at his picture. I'm like, yeah, we probably look at him like, where he think he going?
Yo.
he's very tall too.
He's
That
very.
dude's-
He
he's
has
like
a bald head.
he's
You
like
know how we
6'4".
think. Oh, that's. Yeah.
I was just,
what?
he looked like the police. That's what
I mean,
Okay.
my first thoughts on the police.
He's a-
Anyway,
I think he's cool. I think he means well. I think he's trying to be sort of like bridging a gap, maybe.
why do you say it's divisive?
Oh, there are some of my black friends who think he's an absolute racist.
Oh, okay.
100%.
And, they
And I try to
mean,
talk to them because my experience with him is limited. I've only been around him since September. We're in a group. That's as much as I can say out on the radio. And like I've had conversations with him that I cannot share, but like he seems to be one of those people who's like, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to like he went to the college.
okay,
so
I
I'm
know.
trying to get in there and trying to figure some things out. Not like to exploit anything, but like to try to grow as a person.
So
Like, that's
in those type groups, I always start to question about like the people that make those groups up. Like, are you native to the land that you are in?
this is all fair conversation.
right?
It will make sense if I tell you.
I already know. So I'm thinking about that type of space. Like in those spaces, I know that if I'm in that space, I'm in this space because of something that I'm already contributing or something that somebody sees that I should be or will be contributing. So it changes the tone of the conversation for me. But if I am being exposed, like when I go places, like I really like to thoroughly be immersed in the culture to see what it does for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see myself writing something like that if I went to give me an event.
Well, I'm
Iron
telling you,
Bowl.
hold on, listen. No, Iron Bowl, no. There's
No,
a lot
yeah,
of black
nah,
people.
I wouldn't say that.
So like
No.
I could write a similar letter about going to Talladega.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. And
Not
I'm
going
trying
to
to think
Talladega
of
to the races.
we went
Now,
with the
my que-
station, so I can't like I did that a while back. Give
Yeah,
me,
but y'all are probably in a different. Again, I'm with a bunch of white folks.
like out on
Okay.
the field. I didn't know.
So
when
I
you
have a
did
Talladega.
your when you went and got your bike license.
Yes. And I wrote about that for sure. I was the only
Is it in the book?
No, it's on social media.
Oh, my bad.
But I thought
I was
about
trying to
you
promote the
showing
book.
me
I
how
was trying
it
to put the
was.
book out there.
Like,
My
it's
bad.
Harley and not a
I-
lot of black women.
No, not at all. Like the black women that I have seen, I can count on my hand. I can tell you where I saw them. But in the class, I was the black, I was the female, and in the store, I was the black. That was the culture. But it was for me.
They
It was
embraced
about
you, though.
and it was about me. It was about my experience and what I was there for and what I enjoy. So it never. I'm always, you know how you always got your guard up because y'all acting cool, but then I might be barbecue.
I feel like that in my work life. I'm always the only black girl. My nails
your
are
job?
long. Yeah, my
Really?
nails are long. My
They are
hair
long.
is never
They're festive.
the same. So I
It
always
matches your
kinda
sweater
feel like,
today.
Wait,
It
hold on.
does.
See, wait.
I've been thinking. I've been trying to figure out a way to say this.
So
It blends perfectly.
with all of that being said, I always kind of feel like the outcast. They never like do anything to
Right.
make me feel that way.
But you know you different.
But I'm always the one that's different.
You know what's
So-
weird? Like there was a diversity push for a long period of time, and I used to hate the word diversity after a period of time because it's not about diversity. It's about
affirmative action.
No, it's about inclusivity, right? Like it's not enough to like you hire black folks. It's fine, but like you also have to make black people feel like welcome, right? And vice versa. Like,
But I was gonna say, what about when white people come to a black organization? It's
right.
like,
so make everybody like so if it's a whole bunch of black folks and at a job and we hire somebody white, you're not just hiring a white person, like also make that person feel welcome, right? Like so take them to like if you go into like an ASU game or whatever, like and the same is true on the opposite end. Like when I in my past life when I worked at a firm, the white folks I got cool with, like it wasn't just like I was there. It's like, hey, come to this Alabama game with us. Come to this like whatever.
They really received you for who you were, as opposed to like, hey, you're just a black guy.
And see, that don't work for me, Chuck, because you don't have to receive me. Like, leave me alone. I'm cool.
Okay.
Well,
wow. Okay, then
you pay me to do a job. We don't have to be friends.
Yeah, but they got. But you don't want to feel. You don't want to feel comfortable.
You don't want to do the lunch. You don't want to go to lunch.
All right, so hold on. So if you go to work, hold on.
Exchange gifts for Christmas.
I don't care about that. All right, so you got a gig.
I do too.
Everybody loves gifts. You got a gig, right? So like you recognize that some people at your job, everybody else at your job is cooler with each other except for you. You don't feel like an outcast at that point in time.
Care less.
No, she just
my boss for a long time thought that I didn't like her. Because I'm just not that kind of person. It takes me a minute, and this is probably some childhood trauma stuff, but I have a barrier.
Are we cool?
I mean, you are.
Heads on an arm.
I've been working on this thing for a long time.
I have a barrier, and it just takes me a minute to kind of like warm up to people that I don't know. In real life, I'm kind of socially awkward a little bit.
I am too, actually.
So I'm cool on that. Like we ain't got to talk.
I'm an introvert.
It really makes
this is group therapy right here.
It really makes me. It's like an awkward feeling when like you try to be nice to me because now I have to try to be nice to you.
Oh my god!
I don't want to do that.
So you look at it as a person trying to be nice as opposed to them just being nice.
You know,
most people are trying, Chuck.
Yeah, they be trying. You said you have to make me feel welcome. That should kind of come natural to you just based on the person that you are.
Being a good
you shouldn't have to make me feel anything.
Fair.
So if you have to make me,
hey, come on over here, sit by me, and see you over here sitting by yourself.
See, why you put that? Hold on, why you put that voice in there?
With this mouth right here.
Why you put that voice in there?
You can come over here with us.
I'm totally cool eating lunch by myself and calling.
Come on over here.
And talk my whole lunch period.
Yeah,
like you ain't never called me during your lunch period.
He's gonna call you.
We gonna call and talk about?
I don't know.
Okay, well, give me your number now.
You have my numbers in the thread.
You do, but you're not gonna answer.
Right, Dave. Like, don't call me on my phone.
So,
but listen to what we're doing. Like, this is how you get to know people. Why is it that when somebody from another race or another ethnic group or another religion comes around, are these conversations not okay? Why is it not this easy then?
It is that easy. A girl last week was like, I wonder if I could, would it be cool if I came to classical year? I'm like, yeah, AQ. They'll like you and you'll like them.
Yeah, but you can't come with me though.
And now that's the other part. Because I'm going to be saying like the N-word and doing all types of stuff.
That's fine. Hey, you sign up for what you sign up for. I can point
you in the right direction though. It's some tips you might want to hit, but we not rolling together, cuz.
Nah, see, I don't do that. Like if you rock with me,
you can rock with me.
You rock. If I rock with you and you rock with me, you can go wherever I go.
We're rocking.
They know. I can't call a name. She get mad.
Now my friends gonna talk about you. That's what we do.
In the streets. Let's go.
Let's see. Facebook comments.
Dave, am I wrong?
I'm not sure who you are. I wish I knew. When it says Facebook user, I can't see who you are. But
hey man, put your name on it.
Yes, like
hey,
really.
What is it?
Who's socially awkward? We are not socially.
I mean, y'all said it.
I can be socially awkward sometimes.
I can be absolutely.
That's a human trait. If I'm in a situation socially that I'm uncomfortable with, we all have to adapt to where we are. Nobody always walks.
You may feel awkward, but
I don't do well with large groups of people that I don't know. It gives me anxiety. I prefer not to go.
I'm
you know way. What? That's probably why I never been to no job fair. I don't care how jobless I was. I ain't going to.
Why a job fair? How did that come to mind?
So you're not gonna tell us your new gig?
I'm gonna tell you later. Like it just be like a whole bunch of people in one space.
Ma'am,
it's a lot of people.
Do you eat at
I'm
buffets?
nervous.
Oh no! Hold on. Out of everywhere you could think of.
Out of concerts, malls, football games,
meetings.
Church, this lady said job fair.
Yeah.
What?
And then she said, yeah.
What?
I said it. I meant it.
I don't know about a
I
job
be
here.
like it makes me nervous.
Look, Facebook user said, I'm not calling nobody on the telephone. So, like, people have different things. Like, yeah, we be messed up. Y'all got to own it. Like,
he ain't calling
humans be
nobody.
messed up.
I'm,
And we
really-
just-
and we
I'm way
laugh at
more
each other.
introverted than y'all know.
No,
I be faking this thing.
Oh, see, now that's where the problems come in.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm okay at it, but like,
Yeah, I think it was like 2 weeks you was on the show and I didn't know your name.
But
Well,
trust
you
and
was
it's
believe.
longer than that.
So,
I asked.
You know,
What is
it's
that?
weird.
I
And
told-
people think I'm so mean. I'm really not mean.
You
I'm
are.
not mean, guys.
so look, this I love my job because I am sitting
don't
here
know.
assessing all of you,
I don't know.
and I am taking
Once I
big
called you
notes on
numbers at
Chuck.
one time, you ain't talked to me for like 3 weeks.
Dave, I'm taking notes on you too because you ain't saying nothing. Can we swing a mic today?
My thing of this. I ain't never met nobody I can't really talk to. You know what I mean? I can talk to anybody, but if you tick me off, you would never know I don't like you
Yeah,
until
until we having a random conversation.
Yeah.
You were like, but I don't even like.
nah, and then
What?
cause I go home and I tell Tip and she be like, "Don't say it, just leave it, let it play itself out."
And you don't have to really say it. For me, it's gonna be all over my face.
All
But for
over
me,
mine.
I still be speaking
I
to
wouldn't even
you,
talk to
and,
you.
and all that jazz.
I don't
But
speak.
really, like, but I think I hang in smaller circles of different ethnic groups. So when it comes to time to go into a big circle, it don't bother me. Like I can hang at a brewery over in such and such, or
Right.
hang at a restaurant here, there, whatever. Like people be like, "I ain't nothing to do in Birmingham."
Yeah, like,
It's
it's so
lots
much.
to do.
It's
It may not
But
be
you
a lot
gotta
that's
get
black
out
to do
in those circles.
or like that's Asian to do because you don't know. And Dave, you're right about that. I will say this. Before I went to, I told y'all this before I went to grad school, I had never really been around a lot of people that didn't look like me. Maybe my teachers, but not classmates. It took for me to be grown with an undergraduate degree, going to another program to be around white people. And it was like really eye-opening. Even though I always had this, like I always talked to my teachers, never felt uncomfortable with them, none of that. But it took for me to be able to be equal with my classmates to really be able to get in. Like let's have these real conversations. Let's go out to lunch. Let's cry together. Like therapy as an instructor will do that for you.
Y'all have dated outside y'all's race?
Mm-mm.
That was quick.
I mean, did it?
Look,
Did the record skip? So it's 2-0. What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
I ain't say nothing. I'm on the prowl.
But you know what? It's different for us because as Black women, we are curvy. We have a lot of different stuff that,
That ain't
some
why.
white men may not find attractive.
Oh, they be
I don't
like
think
that.
that's, I don't think that's
I
true
didn't
anymore.
say all. I ain't say
They coming
all.
for y'all too.
I said
And then just out of our race could be anything, like anybody else.
Well, that's
Any-
what I'm
any other
saying.
race.
Like it could be Hispanic people. Like y'all immediately went
I'm
to
here
white.
for it. What up?
So you're not answering.
I just did.
she's never done it, but she's
You're
not
I
open.
didn't say
against
that
it.
either.
Girl.
Hey, check me out
how did you
tomorrow
answer?
at
No,
noon
hold
right here on
on.
B94.9.
Extend this show. Extendo.
If you want to know more about,
Another hour.
Extend the clip.
if you want to know more about who I've dated or who the ladies have dated, what day?
That's exact. Now,
Let me find the right bed for this. Go ahead.
Now we talked about different races and being comfortable.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's within people that look like you, but a different nationality. Because like when I lived in Atlanta,
Right.
I lived across the hall from some devout Muslim Nigerians,
Mhm.
and up above me were a bunch of Hispanics.
Which
so-
all looked alike.
Man, but the first time I ever saw somebody that looked like me that didn't speak English was in my building. So in order for me to be comfortable, I had to get to talk
Gotta
to
talk.
the Nigerians and talk to the Hispanics. Because if not, man, I'd have been over there miserable.
Same
because,
thing Carmen said about New York. Somebody looked just like you and bust out speaking something.
man, dude was dark. I worked with him. He was darker than me, but he didn't speak no English.
Boom. Get to know people around you. Stop. Hey, be comfortable, be happy, and be
Yeah.
vital. Y'all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Y'all like to get to know people. Y'all might be getting to know Jeffrey Dahmer.
What the hell are you waiting for?
It's crazy. I'm sending a text message about the fucking.
And the
album
crazy
right
part
now.
about that is Kanye produced
All right,
that.
y'all. I'm going to log off of